1. Let's go! This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. There is Thursday Night Football tonight on Prime Thursday, October 6th, 2022. This show starts now. Football is back for NFL Week 5, which kicks off this evening in Mile High, 5,280 feet above sea level, and that is the site for the narrative-building Thursday Night Football matchup we have this evening. The Denver Broncos have been incredibly boring. The Let's Ride era has kind of been a snooze fest and a stumble on pothole ride to the finish line. Sure. Getting some wins. Yeah. Nathaniel Hackett figuring it out maybe. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson doing his thing. Cortland Sutton maybe getting the ball. Judy maybe getting the ball. The defense seems to be unbelievable. They're without Randy Gregory. How will that affect? But are the Broncos a team that is going to continue to find ways to win even though they look like they suck?
Fair.
And on the flip side, the team that has looked like they suck but are actually pretty good, are they going to find their way and do their thing tonight without one of their MVP candidates of a season ago, Jonathan Taylor? That means Nyheim Hines probably going to get to rock a little bit. Philip Lindsay, formerly of the Denver Broncos, from Denver originally, has been called up to the active roster. He'll also be in the running backfield, hopefully. Now, we also have, obviously, Michael Pittman Jr. and Mo Alley Cox, who's a tight end, who's a guy who played basketball in college, big body.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. Big body, big athlete. Matt Ryan seems to like to throw the ball to him. And hopefully, we'll see another guy that Matt Ryan likes to throw to, big body, tight end. In Jelani Woods.
Sure. Good player.
We don't know. I think so.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think he's a great player. Every time I've seen the ball go his way, good things happen.
Scores touchdowns.
Anytime I've seen him walk down a street, everybody's looking like this at him. He's a fucking big, tall guy who seems to score touchdowns and does his job well, but he's rarely on the field. Will this week be the week that he's on the field and becomes a superstar? Joining us all day, Darius J. Butler. That baby. Talks the table is here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. All the boys in the back. Foxy, Zito, and Frank. Great work. We had a couple doors added to the building. People were in here till like 6 a.m., I guess.
Nice.
Didn't know that was happening. Don't necessarily love it, but their work was fantastic. This place is really coming together, and I appreciate you all so much for watching today. Obviously, anytime you have an NFL game on the same day you're doing a show, you're excited because you're getting to chit-chat about said game. Normally on Thursday Night Football, we have Coach Pagano come in here and give us Coach P's keys.
That's right. I love it.
Not today.
What?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm bummed. We're all bummed because we're missing out on it because he has continued to be a very good gambler on these Thursday Night Football games. Not that he's gambling, but in his predictions of what he thinks is going to happen, he's given pretty good prognostications on how the games are going to go. With that being said, he's at a wedding. So it's a good thing.
Okay.
Love.
Congrats to whoever's.
We love.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, Nyheim.
Yep.
Sure.
The whole thing.
You name it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey.
Anyways, congrats to whoever is getting married that Chuck knows and Chuck is going to. We appreciate that. We'll miss you this week. We'll see you next week, Chuck. AJ Hawk will be here. But let's dive right into it for this Thursday night matchup because it is a big deal. And, you know, I'm from Indianapolis. I live in Indianapolis. I played for the Colts. So I talk about the Colts, I think, more than any other team or show probably ever that has ever had a national, international, but still regional feel type of show. But whenever we're talking about this Indianapolis Colts, they could beat the Broncos tonight. This is a team that could beat the Broncos. They're 1-2-1. They're not 1-3. They're 1-2-1 because they tied the Texans. They lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-zip. Then they lose to the Titans. So they have done terribly against the AFC South, which is not good news because if you're trying to make the playoffs, winning your division is normally a good place to start. Doesn't know. Who knows? There's a lot of season left. But the Colts still can find success. Tonight could be one of those games. With that being even said, there's so many question marks around that fucking team. Obviously, Shaquille Leonard is out after breaking his nose, we believe, and also having a concussion on Sunday in his first game back from a back surgery that was actually to help his ankle, which he dealt with all year last year when he was almost a defensive MVP. So many storylines. Ryan Kelly and Quentin Nelson still on the offensive line. Those are two top 100 NFL players. Haven't played good offensive line play at all this season for one reason or another. Jelani Woods seems to be a weapon. We don't have a lot of those. Then he doesn't get a lot of plays. Mo Alley Cox becomes a weapon. Will they be able to figure out how to put them together? It's like the Colts team literally has a chance to be great, it feels like, which is why I continue to be excited about them. So many question marks, though. Debo, what are you looking for in this Colts team tonight to get a win, and how do you think they beat the Broncos?
I mean, I'm looking for how we respond. On a national stage at that, obviously against a tough opponent.
Hey, that's a big deal, the national stage. Can you explain that a little bit? Can you explain the mindset a little bit more?
Because, Sunday, a lot of Sundays, a 1 o'clock block comes on. Everybody's playing 4 o'clock. But the prime time game, your peers, all your peers are going to be watching, coaches, family, people that support you, people that hate you, like everybody's watching. Anybody that likes football is watching football. So you get up a little bit more.
Statements can be made.
Yeah, for the primetime game.
This is how Pro Bowlers are made, by the way.
Yeah.
If you look at like Pro Bowlers, all pros, like when the stars come out, when the lights go on, the stars come out.
That's right.
I believe is how Dwight Freeney said it. And it was one of the most
Bright lights. It's different. It's a different game. It's a different feeling. More cameras.
If we were in a primetime game, after that conversation with Dwight Freeney, I know, there's a 100% chance that Dwight Freeney is getting a sack tonight. And by the way, he did. And that's where narratives and prime times and everything, that is where it all kind of comes together. And I think that should be noted, though. These are big fucking deals. Monday Night Football is still a big fucking deal. Thursday Night Football, and you put it on Prime, I think this generation of players is probably more pumped. We're on Prime, we're in the streaming, we're kind of trailblazing something new. Business is in there. Tonight's a big night. I think we will see the best out of everybody tonight.
It's exciting. It's an exciting night for the guys, and it's an opportunity, too. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor's out, Shaquille Leonard's out, Julian Blackman's out, I believe. So you got other players that's going to have an opportunity to step up, man. And for Frank, too, because the noise is getting loud. From the outside of the building. It's from here, it's from everywhere. From the outside of the building, sometimes that creeps into the building. But they got to make a statement from the top down. A lot of pressure's been on Frank, being a head coach, being the play caller, getting guys involved. Jelani Woods, who has produced. Naheem Hines, who everyone thinks should produce.
Hey, they paid him.
Fantasy team. They paid him. So we saw him in preseason, working out the receivers, working out the running back. So he's a weapon that you have to use. But like you mentioned earlier, it all starts in the trenches. You hear it with AQ. You hear it with coaches up here. You heard it with Nick Sirianni yesterday. The first thing he talked about when he got that job was the guys that had 10 years plus in the trenches on the offensive and defensive line. So we got to figure it out there. And just because it doesn't matter how well you play individually up front, if the guys next to you not on the same page, it's not going to work. So it's going to start there in the trenches, and then Matt Ryan obviously taking care of the ball and getting the ball to the playmakers.
Ton, what were you saying? You said something into a microphone about Frank Reich, who's got a lot of games left.
He does.
A lot of games left.
Maybe.
Connor.
Well, I'm just saying,
Maybe.
Everyone says every season before the year that on paper this is a great team, and then every year they come out and do this.
Exactly.
Is that our fault too, you think, Darius?
What's that?
It is kind of our fault that maybe it's getting a little loud because a lot of people have higher expectations of the Colts. Is that because of us, you think? Because on paper, you look at that team, then we went and saw them in real life, too. We went and saw them in real life at training camp. They smoked the fucking Lions.
And that's what it was.
Killed them. Matt Ryan was slicing. It's on our stream.
Yeah.
You go back to our stream from training camp. There is highlight after highlight after highlight after highlight of the Colts. And we talked over, and we go, we did it.
It's going to be good.
We did it.
Turns out that's the worst defense of all time, though.
Yeah. In the history of
They
the
actually
NFL.
are the worst defense in the NFL. We've seen it coming.
We did.
We've seen it coming, but we thought maybe they wouldn't be the worst defense in the history of the NFL. We thought maybe they'd just be a standard defense in the NFL, and that must mean that the Colts offense is good. And with Matt Ryan joining the team, as opposed to, I'm not getting into it.
Can't do it.
Takes time, too,
you're running out of it quick.
We know how it is. It is the big boy league, so there's no excuses. But you heard Hines talk about, getting used to a different quarterback every year, which is something. But you got Matt Ryan, who people spoke glowingly about. Obviously, he's played ball at a high level for a long time. So it's not like we drafted a guy in the 5th round. We're hoping for him to work out and figure out how to play football. So we got the pieces, but it is something that you have to get used to. You see it going on in Denver, even with Russ, who's probably a Hall of Famer, but they're figuring it out too. So it's not like they're at least we're not coming into an absolute buzzsaw with Denver. So we got an opportunity to change the narrative. We always start slow in Indy for some reason. Last 5-6 years,
Why is
under
that?
Frank's tenure, we started slow, but usually we kind of pick it up and figure it out. So hopefully we do it again.
To your point about Matt Ryan, when we saw him in training camp, I think that's when we thought, oh, it's not going to take time.
No.
Because,
Got a guy.
right? I mean, honestly, though.
Brought beers in for
You guys.
Yeah, he brought us beers.
Right.
He was awesome.
The man.
When he came into the studio, he was awesome. When we saw him at training camp, he was awesome. When he stopped and talked to us at training camp, he was awesome.
Great guy.
None of it matters. None of the
Bingo.
great guys, the character, the fucking astronaut, Navy SEAL.
Oh, yeah.
None of it. The
What about the beer, though?
None of the beer. None of it
Yeah,
matters.
No, it's kind of an indicator,
Beer
though.
matters.
It's kind of an indicator, isn't it?
Are you-
5 coming in dice. What's coming next?
Indicator 9.
Yeah.
Nina. You know that Nina on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Indicator.
Yeah.
Somebody brings me beer. All right. I assume they're a good dude.
Yeah.
Who you are with us is who you are on the field.
Bang.
Boom. No, how you do anything is how you do
how you do
everything.
everything. There it is.
Is what
Yeah.
Darren meant to
That's
say
what I
right
said.
there. Yeah, and you can and will say whatever is to be said and could potentially be held against you with that hat on, right?
Exactly.
Boom. Just a quote machine over there. This guy's fucking Canva. I love it. Anyways, we didn't think it was going to take time with Matt Ryan. We honestly didn't because of how good he looked and also because he rolled 5. We assumed that was coming on the other side with the beer brought to us and how much everybody liked him and how everybody in the building was like, hey, we got it. It feels like we're back. Reggie Wayne, who I have a lot of respect for.
Yep.
Great wide receiver.
Yep. Should be in the hall.
Should definitely send him into the hall. Just look at his tape. Look at his tape. Just look what happens.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. Just watch the film. Reggie Wayne should be in the Hall of Fame. And also, he gave up a very good life to go coach for the Colts right now.
Yeah.
I've followed him along on Instagram. His hashtag he was using was finally living.
Yeah.
Okay? So I don't know what that means, but finally living is what he was saying. And then you'd see pictures, big cigars, some whiskey. He's
Right.
riding bikes
Nice
like
cars.
hundreds of miles in Miami down there. Beautiful cars, taking trips out. He has a garage, I think, that is just fucking awesome. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to get back and I'm a coach. Then he gets in the building. He sees Matt Ryan. He goes, kind of makes me sick, he actually said, how much Matt Ryan is like Peyton Manning, like pretty similar operations. Now, Reggie wasn't in there with Carson last year, so he didn't know anything about how the building was operating with him in there. But he said that, and then we see him do good, and I'm like,
We got Peyton 2.0.
Here we go.
we're going to be the only team, we're going to be the only show that is letting people know that there's a team in the Circle City in the middle of America in Indianapolis, Indiana, that seems to have been brought back from the ashes of when a once-in-a-generation quarterback retires 9 days before a season starts, when the entire salary cap and roster was being built around him, basically. So that is something that I think is worthy of a conversation, which is why I think we were so excited. But I watch him up close and personal in a suite in that stadium that I paid a lot of money for.
Yep.
Good seats.
Great.
Great. So you need to join us sometime.
Yeah, I got to pull up.
Top tier.
I mean, you got like, Dad of the Year awards to win.
Y'all got games, a bunch of TVs in there?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so perfect.
Yeah, well, we actually had to do that because if I'm going to pay the price set, I'm going to pay to sit in this place. I have to watch all the games as well. So can we do some remodeling to the thing?
Right.
And of course, I assume we're paying for it, but
Good chance.
we worry about it. I get to watch them, though. It's a great view, great seat, great stadium. Let's keep the window closed. No reason for it. Actually, let's put a big Jumbotron there.
Perfect.
Big Jumbotron there would make the stadium look as if it's in 2022. Maybe even 2015 it would look like. If you get a big Jumbotron.
Get some stats up there.
Oh, yeah. Just, hey, have one of these.
Some banners.
Have FanDuel.
Prop bets.
Just have
Good
FanDuel pay for it. I know that's a big deal, how much money it would be. Have FanDuel pay for it. It'll be the FanDuel Jumbotron, and you have the biggest, nicest Jumbotron, and definitely in the AFC South. Not in the whole league, because ain't nobody going to be able to do what the Cowboys did.
Right.
No.
I mean, unless you rebuild the fucking stadium.
Sure.
That's the only way you can do that. That's kind of the anchor of that whole
I don't know,
stadium.
and I don't know if the taxpayers want to do that again.
You
but-
fucking bet I don't, Tony.
Anyways, have FanDuel put that up there so there can be some stats run on the outside of it because their TVs are too small to put stats on them. Okay, so the TV's it's not even a Jumbotron. The televisions that they have in the corner
Yeah.
are not big enough to put things on them. You know what I mean? So you need a bigger Jumbotron. I think you put that thing right in front of that window. Maybe you don't get rid of the window. And then you can get FanDuel or any of these fucking sports books that'll pay you that amount of money to have. You have 75,000 people that are in a state in which it's legal to gamble right now. Okay, so the only marketing that works in that stadium is right now marketing. Bud Light, Bud Light. I forgot those existed till I just saw that video. Give me a fucking Bud Light, hot dog, pizza, maybe if they were to do that. But all the other people that are marketing in that stadium, I believe, and I might be too big of a stooge, you're wasting your fucking time. Once people get out of that game, they don't remember any of it. I'm assuming you could get a sports book to put a jumbotron up there, to put stats up there, so you at least know what's going on in your game and that you're watching, and also around the NFL a little bit, which is certainly possible with the new. I mean, we just put in a fucking jumbotron in this place or whatever. Nonetheless, you want that because when the field is boring, you need something to look at, I think.
Right.
And this team has not shown any glimpses of the team that we talked up in training camp or seen playing against the Lions on that day. There has nothing been easy for the Indianapolis Colts on the offense or defensive side of the ball. And it doesn't make any sense with the roster that they have. But once again, tonight could be the night I guess it all changes.
I mean, it's a little early to be saying, like, this is a must-win game. But you look at it, and, like, for both of these teams, it does get, like, I mean, for the Colts, like, you don't want a situation like last year where you start so shitty and then you start playing well and you kind of force yourself in, like, hey, if we win our last 6 games of the season, we'll get into the playoffs. Like, you want to avoid that. And then you look at the other side, like the Broncos.
Yes.
When we look at how the Chiefs are playing, like, you got to be able to fucking keep pace with them. You can't really afford to let the Chiefs get like a 3-game lead in the division because they're liable to just run away with it. So it's like it's obviously very early still, but with the way they've both looked and the expectations coming into the season, like it is kind of a must-win game for both teams.
It's an important game here for two programs that are going to try to go on a run. The Broncos team, let's dive into them a little bit. Go ahead, Tone.
You want it? Speaking of the Broncos, well, now good easy question here. You want to know who has the 4th highest passer rating in prime time with the 29-11 record of all time too on prime time games?
Oh, Matt Ryan.
Russell
Wilson.
Other side.
Very good.
Fucking Russ.
Good.
Prime time Russ, baby.
He's good.
Yeah,
Smart.
because
Good for
all
the brand. Good for the brand.
we were talking about
Yeah.
it. This is how Pro Bowlers are made. This is how
Right.
superstars are made. Every primetime game is when you got to show up.
Good man brand.
What's that?
Good man brand.
Yeah, no MVP votes.
What is that?
You have to be a good man to wear it. So I don't know if any of us can.
So is the no MVP vote potentially because when we're not all watching Russ, it's not always Russ in primetime game, Russ?
Sure.
Or is it when he's in prime time is when he's telling everybody, hey, we're not running the ball on the goal line. I got to throw a touchdown pass here. And he doesn't.
Oh, so you think every other game it's potentially much more.
Yeah, easy. Boom.
Nathaniel Hackett's calling for primetime Russ games in non-primetime games.
Yes.
So that's why potentially the Broncos have kind of
make
Nathaniel Hackett
sense.
just has to have 2 different versions. Is that what potentially happened? Are we getting catfished by primetime Russ? I haven't watched the film. I guess this is something I should do.
Good question.
Should we watch the film from Seattle
Well,
when he was on basic ass games?
he's had 2 primetime games already. First one, they tried to do the non-MVP. Russ hand the ball off 2 fumbles. So you know they're not going to do that against Seattle. And then against the Niners, and granted the Niners defense seems to be unbelievable. They only scored 11 or 13 points or something like that.
But follow-up might be the best defense in NFL history.
Sure.
With the defensive
That's
player
what
of the
people are
year.
saying. How do you feel about that with the Niners defense potentially being the best of all time?
Oh, best. I mean, shit. It's a lot of ball left, and if they keep playing how they're playing, you saw that Rams game. Like Stafford, half the time it looked like he couldn't even get to his 5th or 7th step on his drop. And it starts up front once again. And Nick Bosa, one of the best edge rushers in the game. They went out and got Ward from the Chiefs, who was kind of an under-the-radar signing, but he's helped them tremendously. Hufanga, and then Jimmy Ward's actually coming back to that defense. So,
Damn.
I mean, it's a lot of Fred Warner, who's one of the best
Dog.
He's
all-star
unbelievable to
linebackers.
watch.
So good.
So maybe that is
guys.
maybe we're getting a misread on the Broncos because they did have to play that team. You
But
know what I mean?
Seattle, and granted, it's different with Seattle just because it was
The emotion of that
emotional
game.
Yeah.
Oh, season opener, that
Then
whole
even
thing.
last
Little
week, like the Raiders have not been good, and they look terrible against the Raiders. Like the stats were a little bit better, but if you watch that game,
Yeah.
it's like this ain't it.
So tonight we're in for a real battle.
I think so.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing.
7-10.
Denver's defense, like I think they're 5th in scoring, like in points per game allowed. They do have a little bit of a weakness. I think they're 20th against the run. But guess what? The Colts are 27th in running the ball. So are they going to be able to take advantage
Isn't
of that?
that unbelievable with the money that's
Yeah.
been invested
Then we
in the
got-
offensive
then we got
line?
No JT.
That's the problem.
No, but and with the MVP in the back, him not. Will maybe this be a boost? Like, will this be a different
be.
style of running for this offensive line?
Can't go worse.
Well, there's 5 spots.
Yeah, there's a massive
You're right.
chance they can go worse. That's why the Colts.
There's a lot of room.
That's why the Colts season's been so weird. Because, like, sure, like, the problems with Matt Ryan, fine. But you expect the running back who, you know, it's not as if he's a step slower. And you expect the O-line who still has their 2 best linemen to at least perform. Like, I feel like a lot of it we can say, like, hey, what the hell, Matt Ryan's dropping the ball 9 times a game and they can't do shit. But it's like, why is the O-line playing like how the O-line is?
don't know.
Why isn't Jonathan Taylor running like Jonathan Taylor?
So what happened to
was?
his ankle? When did his ankle get hurt? Do we know? I think I saw a hit during the game, I thought, on the Jumbotron, where somebody landed on his foot while he was down and like twisted his foot, like his foot clearly like bounced off of the, like with the weight on it. And I remember thinking like that would hurt like hell. And then I got into a full conversation with myself because I had a couple of Bud Lights about like how many times does that happen in a game? Like so many. And how does that not cause more injuries? I think something that happened to him on the field, on the Jumbotron, made me have that full conversation because we're talking about the turf and we're talking about everything and that being cement underneath there. You can put as many rubber pellets as you want, but at the bottom of that shit, it is cement as opposed to any soil or dirt that could potentially eat anything. And not that any stadium would be able to make a fully ground-feeling thing because you're going to have to wheel that son of a bitch grass anyways. But when something like a massive human landing on your ankle like that, you would think grass would help in that situation. I was just like, I was kind of like talking to myself through it all. I wonder if that's when he got hurt or was he hurt before that? I do wonder that because how often does that take place? That takes place
For
a
running
lot.
backs, I mean, more for them than literally anybody on the field. Even on passing plays, they're in protection, so they're getting rolled up on or you know, ran into. But, I mean, everybody's trying to tackle this guy. Unless they run out of bounds, which Jonathan Taylor doesn't do that a lot. Like, that's happening almost
So
every
people
play.
are rallying to the ball. And bodies are just like kind of fighting blockers too.
Your guys, your own guys are falling on you. So even with offensive line, like I watch the game, and I'm always surprised that offensive linemen, they don't get hurt more because they get rolled up on like with no just blocking and boop, somebody just comes behind them. So it's a tough game, man.
I believe that is something I never took like because I'm never in that situation. You know what I mean? Never
Get
ever.
out of there.
Not supposed to be.
The only tackle football I've played where it's been involved with like multiple people in a pile is growing up in like a backyard, basically. That's the only football.
Kill man football.
Any other time, I'm just in a
Throw the ball.
position. I am just in a position where there's zero contact really, unless I'm doing it. There's not really like a scrum of people. So when I saw that, I immediately thought, like, God, that's something I never had to fucking experience. I'm very thankful. I think my body would just break. I think my shit would just twist off. I guess I don't even know if you could train for that. Hey, you need to have your foot flat on the ground.
No, you're
whenever
built
you go
right.
down. I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. I did that moonsault through Roderick Strong in the table.
Oh, that's right.
I remember.
I broke my fucking toe hitting the goddamn ring. You remember
Toes
that?
are dead.
Yeah, but like I think my lower half down there not meant to do a lot of, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm built for it. Probably would have broke my ankle on that fucking thing too. So hope Jonathan Taylor's okay though. He's a massive part of our offense. Naeem Hines though, very good. They paid him. He can catch well.
Yep.
He returns the ball very well. He's done a round off like back McTwisty thing in full pads after scoring a
Gymnast.
touchdown. Insanely athletic guy. Could have a big how you doing, keep it moving night on Thursday Night Football tonight. And I think we're all kind of hoping for that with AJ Superboost.
Yeah, need to get that guy involved.
I have a theory
ahead.
on the Colts slow starts.
Oh, shit.
Frank Reich is notorious for the massive comeback in college with the Maryland Terrapins down 31-0 at halftime. He comes back, beats Miami Hurricanes. He's notorious for leading the Buffalo Bills down 32 points, coming back. He's the comeback king. Can't be the comeback king if you're ahead all the time. You got to get down to start. You got to slow start. And then everyone can say, oh, look at Frank. Look what Frank has done.
Nick.
He's come back again.
Nick, this is genius. You hear me, Nick?
Back again.
Next level.
Kind of really piecing things together like that, Nick, is fantastic. He is I don't know if it still holds up, but when I heard the stat, which was within the last 5 years,
Yeah.
he holds the largest comeback in NFL history and in college history. Frank Reich.
Didn't know that.
Both of them, yeah. So whenever, I think that's
They
what I
were
was
at the time, at least.
Yeah, at the time when I was told, I believe they were the biggest. Now it feels like there might be like a 30-some point, 40-some point comeback this season, it feels like, with the way this whole thing's going. But I asked Frank about Josh McDaniels turning down the job at his opening press conference. This is my only question I got to ask. and he said the backup quarterback role has suited him well throughout his career. So it became like the big conversation piece that he's like the greatest backup of all time. Now Josh McDaniel's supposed to be the guy. Frank becomes the guy. This suits his story. This suits his narrative. And it's something that he's been very successful at in the past. So it's like it kind of all got tied together. Nick, I can't believe it's the first time we're even having this conversation. That sounds very true. What if that's just how he operates?
Yeah, it makes sense, especially after
Not at
last
the
year.
end with the look how good Nick, look how
Just a
good.
theory, just a hypothesis.
Well, the real worry
Well, you got a
is
little negative at the end, I think. I think there was reality there, like start slow, come back, like got to get motivated by something. Then you're like, then they all say, look at Frank. Like, I don't think that. I don't think that's part of
That's
it all.
what we'll do.
I
We'll
think-
say, "Oh, look how Frank's turned his team around."
Is
Look
this
how
coach
good
of
they
the
look."
year? Is this coach of the year?
Yeah,
Do you
well,
remember what we were
possibly.
saying when they were 1-2
yeah.
and 1? That is what we would say.
comeback coach of the year. The worry is Matt Ryan also was part of the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history, but he was on the other team, unfortunately. So I don't know how that really blends
We get it.
together.
Also, they don't blend together.
Exactly.
It's like vinegar and oil.
yes, gas and water.
Congratulations, the Patriots win that Super Bowl.
I mean, never going to see anything like that again. And Matt Ryan, thank you. Bless your heart.
What's your problem?
I'm just bummed that it's 2022, next year 2023? I mean, Jim Irsay and the Colts got 7 years to fulfill the promise to me and the people who paid for that goddamn stadium. Okay? And who are going to pay for that goddamn video board. And who are going to pay with their fucking FanDuel accounts. Because guess what? As much as I hate the Colts, I'm going to take them. Because I want them to win. But here we are. Tomorrow, once again, the Colts stink again. They're 1-3-1.
No.
Are they going to be able to do this and come back because Frank Comeback Reich is the guy? Or maybe tomorrow we wake up and Jim Irsay's the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Because that's what I want to see. I want to see Jim on the sideline calling plays.
His daughter Carly has been
She
seen
does have,
Boom.
Yeah.
with a
Has
headset
that QB wrist.
and
Yeah.
wristband.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her.
Yep.
Bro,
Practice?
Jog with
No.
No.
Sideline
Sundays,
Texans
my
game.
friend.
Game.
Listen, jog with team on field through tunnel.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
She gave the warm-up speech.
It was awesome.
Like, here we
dude.
fucking go! And then everybody sprinted out of the tunnel.
I think at the first, I think at first when I saw it, okay, I had your reaction, like, what are we doing? All right. What's going on?
I got to see that for myself.
But now,
Pat's got a photo,
well,
actually.
there you go.
'Cause I've seen her in practice, Phil, taking, notes and stuff. But
she's writing
that would
game
be
plans.
next
Let me
level.
tell you, though. Let me tell you why I appreciate this. There's stories about Hasselbeck having to go in there and like XOs, like teaching Carly like football. There's stories of her going into like scouting meetings and like
Appreciate that.
consistently showing. Yes, exactly. At first, I'm like, okay, never seen you here before. Now you're just like, this isn't how it goes. But now with her consistency and how it's gone, like, I'm like fucking really impressed that she's like, okay, I am given the incredible opportunity of being in a football family here. Yeah. And I don't know if she didn't take advantage of it her whole life or if she did. I don't know much about Carly. I do not know. But I appreciate the fact that at least she's like, this whole jogging out with the team with the wristband thing in 2022, fucking hilarious.
Awesome.
But I think she genuinely wants to get an understanding a little bit of how like a fucking game works. So because she is the oldest, so I believe it's probably, I don't know how that works. Is it like royalty?
I think so.
I think it has to be.
I don't know if it's like royalty or whatever it is, but like I appreciate that she's trying to cram as much as she possibly can about football because I think she's I think she's a lawyer by trade, I think. So she has to understand what the NFL is business-wise. Like, let's say she didn't even love football, but now she's like in it and a part of it and her family's in it and she's like recognizing maybe she's also like, oh, this is also the best business.
Yeah. Yes.
This is also the best business in the world. So like, I think maybe she's trying, because at first, same thing as you. My tweet actually says, Carly Irsay's got a wristband on and a headset. Like she has a chance to actually,
No, not the ear.
Not just the earpiece.
Check.
not just the earpiece,
The full.
whole thing.
Yeah.
But now I like, more I see it, like her jogging, like the consistency with it, I'm like, oh, she's trying to fucking just like cram football in as much as she possibly can.
And she also maybe just recognizes the opportunity, like, hey, my dad is about to shit can Frank. Okay, I could be the first female head coach in the NFL. Why don't I get down here on the sideline? I'll take a peek at the play sheets so I kind of can be prepared if he does get, his head chopped off one of these weeks here, and then I got to fill in on a short week. I need to make sure that we don't miss a beat.
How about Frank Reich? explaining to her why he's doing what he's doing.
That's
you know.
tough.
And then she's like, "Yep, absolutely, not doing that."
Do the opposite of. There's a chance.
I'm not saying she's doing that.
Hey,
That's
Carly, let
fucked
me
up.
know, Carly. Everything DB is here at your service. If you need some defense, I got you.
Yeah,
That's
there
very,
we
very
go.
nice of
And
you.
you got him on offense.
Consulting on the side. you know?
She is. I think she's trying her best though to go all in.
Oh, yeah, I'm here- I'm here for her.
I respect it. I think it's good for Colts fans for the future.
Put in Jelani. That's it. That's it. Simple.
6'7", dude.
Fucking put him in the game.
Right, 6'7". I guess so. I have said numerous times right into a microphone that he's from Miami. He's not.
That'll happen.
Shoot.
He's not. He went Georgia, I believe.
Okay.
Then he went to, I think, Oklahoma State, and then he transferred to one of the Virginia schools. So Virginia Tech or Virginia, I do apologize.
I think Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
I think he was a blocking tight end at Oklahoma State. Then goes to Virginia and gets the ball a little bit more. So it's like, I feel like he's probably capable of doing both.
5-tool play.
I mean, the guy's 6'7". He's in the NFL. I'm guessing he can fucking block someone if he needs to.
I'm guessing
When
he
did
can put his
Chris
body in front of somebody.
Yeah, 31 catches at OK State in 3 years, and then 44 at Virginia in his last year.
Okay, so he can catch.
Still going. Still working. Pretty pumped up there.
2 touchdowns in the NFL in
Two
one
tou-
game.
And so in 4 targets, I think he has
Maybe it takes like 3 or
2
4
touchdowns, 1 40-yard reception when we needed it.
Yeah. Is
and
that
then
good?
Maybe
That's good. That's good. Great.
he's 6'7". He might not be good. By the way, he might not be good. We might not. We might have just seen like the luckiest day in his life when he caught 2 tuds over the Kansas City Chiefs, potential Super Bowl champions, at the end of this thing. It made like big time catches, contested catches, and then was stone cold about it on the other side of it. We might have just seen him be lucky. But I would like to find out. You know, like I would like to find out if this guy is a guy because he's got shit that you can't teach.
Yeah.
You can't teach 6 foot 7.
When you're that big and long, Paul's like you're always open. You know what I mean? And then Matt Ryan, he has the accuracy, he has the ball placement. Put the ball, like he's a bit. Come on.
Yeah,
and he only gonna get better if he's getting reps.
Yes. Find that hole, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what it goes back to.
Find
though.
that hole.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Find the window.
Yeah, that's right.
Throw that ball in.
Just come right inside that hole right there.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Get it in there.
Come in there hard, right inside that hole.
Boom.
Right to Jelani.
Yeah.
That's right.
Find
Throw
that
the
hole
ball.
and wiggle it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Throw that football right.
Feed him that
right in his
ball.
hands.
All right, let's get to. We got a guest. I believe he's. I completely forgot about him. I apologize. We started getting into a conversation. Zito did tell me this a few minutes ago, and I apologize to this man because I believe this dude had some business that had happened, which we would like to congratulate him for. Big money man.
Oh.
NBA insider. The man who has won every single trade deadline, draft, and everything, I believe, for the last 3 years or so.
Yep.
Friend of the program, incredibly handsome, great beard normally.
Well manicured.
Very good lighting at all times. He's a walking filter somehow.
Yep.
The guy's unbelievable what he does, ladies and gentlemen. Sham Sharon. Told you.
In a bank?
Yo, Pat, I had to wear the jacket, the suit coat on the show. I've seen you on my TV the last couple weekends. You're wearing a suit jacket. I'm like, what is going on? Next time I'm on Pat's show, I'm wearing a suit. So, you know, I have to be dressed right.
What do you got in there? What do you got
I
in there?
have to be dressed
What's on the inside there, Shams?
I don't know, just design. I'm not big on design, but I got a nice little design, got a nice little shirt. So
And you also got some
got
breaking news.
phone calls coming in. Got phone calls coming in, but we're good now.
Hey,
we're
this
good.
is Life of an Insider. We apologize for being a little bit late here. We know you're very busy. You look fantastic. I like that you got the cheetah, on the inside, the white. That's because that means that when Shams is getting his shit tailored, he's like, give me that.
Yeah.
Hey, what type of exotics
Yeah.
you got for the?
right.
Do you fold that thing up, or is that for the? The pocket square thing?
No, you talking about this? Which one are you talking
Yeah,
about?
pull it out.
Pull it up.
Doesn't the
You're talking
inside?
about the inside?
The outside
No,
should be connected.
I got nothing here. I got.
Oh no.
I think I got a.
That's a.
I had a pocket. Oh, here it is. I have.
Boom.
I'm not on that level yet, Pat.
Hey, what's
I gotta watch you go on your show a couple more weekends. I gotta see your style again, and then I'll start wearing the pocket square.
Listen, I look like a jackass out there. To be honest, I haven't put any thought into this weekend. It's going to have to do something. Shams, you look amazing. At some point, though, that pocket square will actually be sewed in, and it'll be the same design as your under thing. Just, I happened upon
nice.
it, Taylor, and was, I guess that's the easy thing. Nonetheless, let's move on. The NBA's back, huh? We're starting next week.
Yeah.
Here we go. The NBA's back, Shams. It's back time to work. Where are you right now, and
The
what are you
NBA
covering?
is back. There's a lot going on. I'm in Vegas right now. I went to the Lakers Suns game last night. Saw LeBron, saw Russell Westbrook, saw the Lakers take on the Suns, and then I'm gonna go see Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson play today. Those are the two projected 1 and 2 overall picks in the 2023 NBA draft. Victor Wembanyama, 7'3", 7'4" guy. We've never seen anyone his size do what he's doing. Pat, I don't know how much you've seen him
Metal
play,
detector?
but
Yeah.
this kid, he's 18 years old. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. And one thing that I've noticed, and I've talked to scouts about this, executives about this, we see Chet Holmgren, we see Kristaps Porzingis. They have unique games. They were called unicorns. But this kid, Victor Wembanyama, gets so much elevation on his jump shots when he shoots from three. Like, he's legitimately jump shooting like he's a 6'6" wing. It's something that we haven't seen. LeBron spoke about it last night, where there have been people called unicorns before. This guy might be an alien because we haven't seen anyone quite like him. He's 18. Let's see what he develops over the next year or two.
Is this what the NBA is going to become? It seems like every year, to your point, there's this guy that's taller, seems to have a better shot than everybody, and has handles better than everybody as well. Is this what the NBA is becoming, and what do you attribute that to? Is that just the growth of the game at the younger generation, more interest from social? What do you think it is, international? What do you think it is? Why is this happening now? Because it's great for the sport, right? We're going to go to a game, and it's going to potentially be 6'10" and above, everybody, and they're just going to be shooting and doing everything that they're doing right now, just at a higher altitude, right?
Yeah, I think I would attribute to whoever's coming before, right? You look at Kevin Durant. He's probably the standard bearer when you think about guys that are 7 feet tall that can literally do everything on the floor, from shoot threes to ball handle, literally every part of the game they can connect on. Where in past years, maybe, Ralph Sampson, you had a guy at around 7 feet tall that can handle the ball in the 80s,
Kareem.
but they weren't getting the leash. They really weren't getting the latitude to do whatever they wanted to do at that point, like Kevin Durant and a lot of these guys are now. So I think it's really a sign of the times. You have Steph Curry. He changed the game when you think about bringing it out to like 35, 40 feet from three-point range. So I think it's a sign of the times, and also a sign of examples for Victor Wembanyama. Like, he has a template to follow when you look at Kevin Durant.
I thought if I got lucky enough, to one day have a son or something like that, and I just told him, hey, you need 100 threes every single night.
Yep.
And he's 6 foot, 6'1". The NBA was potential, because, hey, we found a spot, we found a role. Going to have handles, going to have to be locked down on the defensive side. But we're going to need good threes, and we're going to need good D. Okay, we're going to need 3 and D out of you. And I thought, but now it's just going to be 7-footers doing that. Now it's just going to be, it's going to be 7-footers pulling up from where Steph's pulling up from.
I will say this, Pat. Scoot Henderson, the guy that Victor Wembanyama's going up against,
awesome.
He's 6'1", 6'2".
Okay.
Athletic as hell. So I don't know if your son's going to be as athletic as Scoot Henderson, but like you can find those dynamic guards. Like Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose.
Don't even know if he exists yet.
Those guys can be impactful as well.
Don't even know if this kid exists yet.
Come on, Sean. Writing him off already.
I'm just putting it in. I'm just putting it up in the air. I'm gonna
let him know Woj is his guy. I'm gonna let him know all his news is going through Woj. No, you didn't deserve that. You shit on my kid. That doesn't exist until it does. But nonetheless,
Smoke McAfee's going to be an athlete.
Smoke is going to be a dog. Smoke is going to be a dog. But nonetheless, it sounds like it's great for the game, great for the sport. The NBA's ratings, I assume, will be higher than there ever been, except for on Christmas Day, where the NFL decided to kind of ruin everything. With the season getting started here, the big storylines right now are the Golden State teams fighting each other, and Draymond and Jordan Poole hate each other. Boston is without their coach. Is there any more news coming out? What are the big storylines going into the season that don't involve actual basketball, you think?
Yeah, let's talk about the Jordan Poole, Draymond Green situation. That happened last, I reported on it last night when, yesterday at practice. Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, talking trash all practice. There was some pushing and shoving that went on, and it just escalated. And Draymond Green, from what I'm told, whatever you want to call it, a punch, you want to call it a forceful strike, he got at Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole, it was an impact hit. The Warriors had to stop practice right there and then. They had to bring everyone back to the locker room for everyone to gather, emotions. Draymond Green was very, very vocal, from what I'm told, after the fact. There was there was a lot of emotion in that Warriors facility. The expectation right now, Pat, is that Draymond Green will be disciplined by the team, whether that's a fine, maybe a suspension. The one thing to look at, Pat, ring night for the Warriors is against the Lakers at home, October 18th. I don't think either Draymond Green or the Warriors wants him to miss that game. If he is suspended for multiple games, he might be in jeopardy of missing ring night. But I think right now what the Warriors are doing with Draymond Green is trying to figure out what the discipline will be, and I would expect that type of word would come down at some point today.
The internet told me that Draymond didn't want to play against LeBron because of how close they've gotten and become business partners on October 18th. Happy to hear that you don't think that is the case. Follow up, forcible strike. So it was a punch, a good elbow.
It was a punch. It was a punch, and from what I'm told,
To the face?
it landed in his face, upper body area is what I was told.
Wow.
Face and shoulders.
Throat
are-
punch.
That's a pretty big window.
But from what I hear, Jordan Poole is fine, so he might be made of metal. I don't know, but
Did he punch him
Draymond
right
Green-
in the rib cage, or like you think face?
Pool punch back?
No, it was above. It was neck and above. Is what I'm saying.
Throat punch. That's
Are the
So,
rumors-
but Jordan Poole, thankfully, is all
Neck and
good.
above.
Pat, I mean, you
the
played,
Adam's apple.
in the NFL. Like this type of stuff happens, right? Even in
Football,
the NBA,
yeah.
like these skirmishes in practice, they happen. It's when you cross the line and put hands on someone in terms of a punch, I guess a slap. I mean, maybe Draymond Green would have gotten away with a slap, but you punch a teammate, it rises to another level.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to get back from the slap. The punch still interesting too, because he's known as like the vocal leader of that team, right? Isn't that like his thing? He's the
Heart and
glue
soul.
guy, he's the juice guy, he's everything. And now Poole is a very important player after the playoff run, right? I'd assume at this point. Is that going to fuck up the team, or are we going to get bygones be bygones, and this is how it normally works in the NBA?
So my sense is it'll eventually be, bygones be bygones, right?
Okay.
Where like this will be water under the bridge in due time. Draymond Green this isn't the first time he's shown his emotions, right? Like there were, less than a decade ago, he got into it with Steve Kerr in the locker room. There have been plenty of back and forth with them.
Yeah.
We all know about the
LeBron
Draymond Green,
nuts.
Kevin Durant incident in 2018. So I think with Draymond Green, that there are moments where his emotions can overtake a particular situation. And I think from what I'm told, he took some apologetic measures last night as well. Like he knows, from what I'm told, that he stepped out of bounds. He should not have done this. It crossed the line. And so he's going to apologize, I'm sure, and probably already has a Jordan Poole, and everyone will try to move on. They did win a championship, so I'm going to give Draymond Green and the Warriors the benefit of the doubt.
All right, let's hope they figure it out.
Yeah, good luck, boys.
Bygones be bygones.
Good apology spree there.
Yeah, put your shorts down.
I didn't know I was covering. I didn't know I might be covering wrestling. On a Wednesday, Thursday.
Did Jordan Poole sell, or was it no sell? Yeah, let's talk about it. Was there a knockdown? Was it a knockdown from what you heard, or was it just pretty much did Jordan Poole take that thing right in the fucking jaw?
I didn't get details on where it went as far as the Jordan Poole get knocked to the ground. I didn't get those details, but I know as soon as the hit was delivered, teammates separated those two. Like it was almost immediately where those two guys had to be separated.
So a pretty clean punch then, probably.
Yeah.
If teammates were separating before, you might get a miss
Around
It
something.
said it was escalating too, so they were probably on high alert.
Everybody, so as soon as it.
waiting
as
for
soon as
it.
it got to
Internet
But
told me Jordan Poole.
I think I gotta add, like these two guys go at it all the time. So it's like I'm sure
Okay.
from what I gather,
Okay,
teammates
okay.
were even surprised when Draymond put that fist out and actually connected. I don't think anyone saw that coming because these two guys do get into it.
So Poole also shit talker, big time shit talker, emotional guy, yeah.
I think he's a guy that's very confident. I think Draymond Green's a guy that's very, very
That's
confident,
awesome.
as we know. I mean, the Warriors are built with a lot of confident players. And Jordan Poole, there's a reason why he went from a late first-round pick, didn't play that much his first, sometimes second season, and now he's blossomed into a borderline star, star
Maybe
rotation.
he might be
player.
smelling himself a little bit, about to get
I
some
did
new
see
money.
that report.
Draymond had to, hey.
I also saw Jordan Poole was like make 5 jumpers in a row, and then everyone that he missed, Jordan Poole getting on him, and then
Laugh
Draymond.
loud.
Where
was
did you
just-
saw that on the internet?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where you saw that.
There's a tweet.
it was a report on the internet.
It was a report on the internet.
A bunch of retweets.
Is that what you call tweets? Just tweets or memes? A report on the internet.
Fair.
Connor, your question for Shams, and we got to let Shams go. We appreciate you, Shams.
Yeah, Shams, Pat alluded to it, but why does it seem like everyone on the internet who has either played in the NBA or is in the NBA knows what Ime Udoka did, and how has it not gotten out yet? Because as a Celtics fan, I'm very concerned, and it seems like they're never going back to the finals now.
So I'm going to break it down. What happened. I'll give you the timeline. Okay?
Here we go.
So this relationship, what I'm told, started during the playoffs, and it went into July. And at Summer League, the Celtics found out in July, and from what I'm told. And once the Celtics found out, what they were told at the time, that everything was good between the two sides, that it was a consensual relationship, and they obviously moved forward with their offseason. This wasn't a topic that anyone within the Celtics was, I think, worried about. It wasn't until a few weeks ago when the female employee informed the organization that she had unwanted comments made to her by Ime Udoka at some point earlier before this relationship, this intimate, improper relationship started. And that's when the organization had to do another really round of investigation and interviews, and that's when they come down with the 1-year suspension. So anytime you think about workplace misconduct, like companies, especially corporations like the Celtics, they're gonna take that seriously. So that's really the extent of it. Now, what else beyond that, as far as people's personal backgrounds and what their situations might be with their, with their, marital status and things like that, that's nothing that I'm gonna touch. But as far as where this situation stands, Ime Udoka is away from the team. I think, listen, this isn't a relationship that should have ever occurred, and the Celtics acted in the way they acted. It isn't. I don't think it's anything more than just unwanted comments, unwanted, whatever you want to call it, language toward the female employee.
Okay, thank you for laying that entire. I got a timeline here. I wrote it down. Playoffs, July, moved on. Then it says female employee said she had unwanted comments said to her before the relationship happened, before the playoffs. This happened, and then they investigated it after finding out in July about the whole thing. They've moved on. All parties moved on. Then she said that she had unwanted comments said to her before the relationship even started. Is that right?
Yes. Now, Pat, I'm not here to, I'm not here to sit, to analyze that. That those were the facts of the investigation.
Got it.
They gave a one-year suspension. So
I understand. Hey, listen, in programs and organizations.
But you can, Pat, you can.
Yeah. Sean, sounds like you're saying that. Organizations are allowed to have their guidelines and protocols and rules and assessments, especially when something is in there and then it involves somebody of very high power or whatever, from what I'm hearing about there. And I understand that, you got to set a standard, and the standard is standard, and you can't set precedent no matter who it is and all that type of stuff. But from the way everybody was talking about it, I honestly thought it was going to be much different than what you just said there. Like the way everybody who was like Stephen A came out and he was like, more stuff is coming, and they do whatever they feel need to do, and he was okay. Matt Barnes, I think, came out and said something. Those are two people I have a lot of respect, for. I have a lot of respect for those guys, especially when it comes to NBA conversation, because I don't know shit about fuck over there unless I talk to you. So is there more that's potentially going to come out, or is that everything right there that took place, or do we not know either of those things?
This was the extent of this investigative process. I've seen all the various things on the internet that probably you have, as far as, blowing this up. Like I've seen everything. But to clear things up, there wasn't an investigation into multiple women in the workplace. There was an investigation into one intimate, improper relationship that the Celtics had. That was one female, one investigative process. It wasn't like this was a situation where Ime Udoka, at least as far as the investigation is concerned, there were multiple different, female staffers involved in this investigation. There was one. So what more it could be, maybe they know more than I do.
No way.
That's not what your face just said.
That's right.
Your mouth said something, but your face said something different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pictures worth 1,000 words.
It was.
I'm telling you all
Body
the way to-
language.
All right, you guys figure it out.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Yep.
Yo, Pat, are we going to talk about LeBron's Vegas team? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, you're there right now, I guess. Are you in Vegas or where are you?
I am in Vegas. I'm gonna go to the G League Ignite game to see.
That's
the
what you said.
French,
Yeah, I didn't know that
star,
was. Yeah.
but
Is that where LeBron played last night? Is that where he was? And then he gives the press conference and he says that himself.
Lakers Suns.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he spoke about owning a team. So I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of momentum toward LeBron James eventually owning a team, Vegas being specifically the one that he wants to own. But, Pat, here's one interesting thing that I found out in the last, how many ever hours, 12 hours since LeBron James made those comments. If and when this does happen, he would want to be the majority owner. So, I think there's been a lot of talk and a lot of analysis probably going on, like, would LeBron James just be backed by a bunch of partners and just be a name? He would want to be majority owner, so that means putting the brunt of the financial money into this.
Let's go.
He was already, I think Forbes announced him as a billionaire, so that's the goal for LeBron James, is being a majority owner, not just a silent partner, not just a name, not just someone that a bunch of backers can put behind because he's LeBron James. He would want to be the majority stakeholder.
Okay, that's a great piece of information. We appreciate you, Sham Sharania, the Stadium and the Athletic. The conversation immediately goes to. Is he going to be Jackie Moon if he owns the team? And the Vegas team's coming soon, and he's still playing. Is he also coaching that team and general manager of that team? Is it the Las Vegas LeBrons? And are we about to enter the greatest era in sports history? Yeah. Is that about to happen?
I mean, listen. There's no precedent for a owner also serving as a coach or a player or anything like that. But listen, as far as personnel decisions. You have LeBron James is going to be a majority owner of the Las Vegas NBA team. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be very, 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 very involved in terms of day-to-day, high-level personnel decisions. But as far as coaching, I don't think I see that in LeBron James' future.
But he will be playing.
Hey, listen, Michael Jordan did it with the Wizards, but he had to let go of his ownership. That's the thing, Pat.
Why?
That's a trade-off. I don't know if LeBron James will buy a team for billions and then.
What was
Pat
Riley's role? Was Pat Riley coach, owner, president?
Imagine Bronny on his team though.
Keep it in house. I saw somebody.
That would be something.
Boardroom posted that he has like a 8.3 million NIL. Projection or something like that.
Oh yeah, he's FaZe Clan as well.
And then Arch Manning's the number 2, like $3.8 million valuations from the boardroom. And then there's
the youngest Braun went and visited Duquesne, so I'm pretty sure he's going there. So that's pretty sweet.
So that's probably not happening. He just hit a growth spurt or something, right?
Yeah, he's huge.
Tell him, Sean.
The youngest James. He just hit a growth spurt.
I think he's taller now. I think he's like 6'7". Yeah.
Right. Watching that family grow up, it's really cool how they interact with each other. By the way, can't be easy with the spotlight that has been put on that family since the parents were both teenagers. So, fucking very impressive what they've been able to accomplish. But the youngest one, I don't think anybody could.
He might be the dope.
He might be the guy.
He
can dunk.
First couple of videos that started coming out, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Here we go. Here we go.
Are they going to change the one and done rule for those kids?
There's a lot of momentum toward that. Yes, I mean I think that's something the PA, the league wants to get done. We'll see the collective bargaining agreement. They're still ironing that out over the next 2 months. What the new collective bargaining agreement will look like. But there is a lot of momentum. There's a lot of expectation that would be the case. So Bronny would not. Unfortunately. There was a lot of talk when I reported that Bronny, a lot of people speculated that Bronny would be impacted. He would not be, because this would go into effect for the 2024 NBA, as soon as the 2024 NBA draft. Might even be later than that. Maybe Bryce has a chance. Bronny's younger brother has a chance to be a part of that rule change, but Bronny will not be impacted.
Okay, so Bryce, Bronny, and LeBron playing on the Las Vegas LeBrons.
It's going to be tough.
That's right.
Good luck coming to play the Jameses. You're playing in our fucking backyard, dude. Can't do it. Can't wait to watch it. Shams, we appreciate the hell. Darius, you have a question for Shams?
Yeah, I got one more. I got to ask you about, I got to go out to Brooklyn, man. What's the vibes like in Brooklyn with KD, Kyrie? Am I a smart man or I'm an idiot betting on the Brooklyn to make a run this year? Let me know.
I mean, I think that everything so far that I've heard is positive. A lot will bank to me, DB, on how Ben Simmons looks. Like, he looked the part the other night. I think, he's got to show, that he's there, that he's 100% there as far as what he was, prior to what happened, in the playoffs and what happened with him missing last season. But there are high expectations. By all accounts, he's 100% healthy. He looked pretty smooth, fluid the other night when he played his preseason debut. They play again tonight, so I'm curious. His health, how he comes along, will be very, very important because to me, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, we know what they're going to bring to the table. There's no vaccine mandate this year for Kyrie Irving to deal with, so he's going to be available full time.
Hey.
But Ben Simmons will be a big, big key for the Nets.
I saw some masks out in public
Oh yeah,
a few times.
in Indy, right?
Yeah.
I have as well.
Also at these game day things. I'm like, what do they know? They know something I don't know? I need to know what they know.
The president just had 60 minutes.
Nonetheless, Shams, that isn't for you to discuss. We appreciate the help. Actually, it kind of was last year.
It was. Yeah.
Remember, you were talking to city council in New York about the vaccination status and protocols. You remember that?
And then we were talking about it. I mean, I want to say that we did a hell of a job breaking the last 2 years down. I got to say. So
We didn't
kudos to
do
you,
shit, Shams. That was you, pal. We appreciate the hell out of you, ladies and gentlemen. Shams Sharani. Big thanks to Shams, dude.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
What if Mark Davis coaches the Los Angeles or the Las Vegas LeBrons?
That'd be awesome.
Because Bron doesn't want to coach.
I saw him at In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
He didn't have his backpack on.
$5 bills.
No, he left it in the car.
I love this guy.
The best.
Why wouldn't you slide in? Why didn't someone slide in? Hey, what's up, Mark?
Well, there's probably, he has a driver, I'd assume. No, probably not.
Probably not.
I'd assume he does it. He just woke up and said, I want fucking wild style or whatever the hell.
Animal style.
There it is.
Walked in and out.
Wild style.
He still drives that old school station wagon, doesn't he?
I have no idea. It would make sense. Like, literally, he's going to become a person that they just start saying shit about. It's
Chuck
yup.
Norris, just the new Chuck
Yeah,
Norris.
that's exactly. Yeah, I did see Mark Davis in that station wagon a week ago. Yeah,
That's all he
eating a
needs is
mac.
just an XL soda. He's got his Berenstein Bears book there with him on the countertop. He's just, looking for a couple burgers.
Very
I love this
respectful
guy.
to take his hat off as well indoors, set it on the
He's a
table.
gentleman
Always.
and a scholar.
Oh,
He's
come on,
had
guys. It's been a long day.
He's had those jeans for 35 years. Too.
Bruce is actually wearing those today.
He's running the numbers right now of the Raiders.
Yeah.
He's counting. This is old school. Mm-hmm. That's actually today's profit rate.
$5 for Derek. $5 for Devontae.
Mark, we appreciate you, dude.
Love you, Mark.
Thanks for just living your fucking life. That's all we're trying to do as well. We will be getting to a little 5-minute break here before hour 2 with AJ Hawk. I believe Kirk Herbstreit is going to join us at some point today.
Kirk, let's go.
I believe Kirk Herbstreit is going to join us to talk about this Thursday night football matchup in Denver, what he's thinking, what he's heard, and also expectations going to Kansas this Saturday.
Yep.
College game day in Lawrence, Kansas this weekend.
Pumped.
First time, right?
First time, I
Time
believe.
for football for sure.
Yeah, they're going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was shocked when you guys told me everything good.
Oh, yeah.
D-Bites.
Nah, I mean, last time I was
Follow.
watching college football, they were like historically bad.
Like
I'm not
UConn.
talking. Yeah, exactly. I'm not talking from.
Hasn't been the same since
Hey,
Mangino.
you know,
Yeah, curse of
Thank
Mangino.
Thank you, Mangino.
They
Well, you-
fired him because he
Newcastle
couldn't take
legend.
poops in the regular bathroom. He had to shit in the showers, so they had to fire him, and they've been cursed ever since.
I'd like to see the turnaround. Maybe UConn's next.
I don't know if that's true.
It is 1,000%
What you,
true.
what you said, probably not.
No.
By UConn?
So, coach transfer, I believe, from Buffalo.
Correct.
Yeah, Lance Leipold.
He's got a bunch of guys from Buffalo to join him over there. And apparently Buffalo is a pretty good fucking team who had some guys. You know, you get into a Power 5 conference, you can really start doing stuff. His quarterback, Jalen Daniels, is a dog.
Yeah.
He's fucking good at football. They beat West Virginia by 13 in overtime. Their defense gets a pick in overtime or fumble recovery in overtime. Doesn't go down. Runs that shit all the way to the end zone. No fear of fumbling and any fuckery at all. The whole sideline's running with them. It looks like the vibe in Kansas is just like completely. Third straight sellout, I believe, for the first time in like 30 years or something like that they got going on.
Also,
awesome.
poor Kansas. He is the name that's being thrown around for Nebraska, and he was at Wisconsin Whitewater before Buffalo. So Wisconsin's also, if Jim Leonard doesn't work out up there, could be one and done for his Kansas. But it's a good run so far.
Hey, if it means anything, Kansas fans, I've been saying his name wrong on game day every week. So that nobody really knows who it is.
Yeah.
For
Trying
your
to do them
sake.
a favor.
Trying to do you guys a favor.
Hiding him.
You guys are the ones tweeting me. That's not how you pronounce his name, you idiot.
Well,
Yeah,
do
we
you want to
know.
leave?
I wonder if him and Sirianni coached against each other. Fucking Mount Union, Wisconsin, Whitewater. Hell of a rivalry up there.
You almost went.
I visited Mount Union. There's a Sheets there.
Love that.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Oh, you're saying
Couldn't go there.
it wasn't about football for you. It was about the experience.
Both.
What's What's
Pierre got
Sirianni
something?
say?
Pierre was actually there when I visited, I'm pretty sure.
He was very good.
Sirianni built that sheets with his fucking bare hands.
66-3 while he was there.
What a fucking incredible 66-2.
Oh, with 3
Yeah.
national championships.
Yeah, 66-2.
Yeah, what do you say? Yeah, pretty good.
You tell me.
Yeah, not too bad.
I think it's easier to coach. Success. What a great fucking answer.
Yeah.
That was a great interview with that guy.
Incredible.
He's the best.
Incredible.
Eagles to the bowl.
There was a couple times I thought I was watching a skit
He came
while it was
hyped.
me and him talking.
Yeah. He came hyped ready.
Yeah.
He was
I know what you want me to say.
Because he's a dog. Dog mentality hoodie on.
He
Yeah.
played the hits. He knew what to do.
Yeah.
He was awesome. And then you guys rock, paper, scissors. What a battle. A lot of same page, same time type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Simpatico.
Simpatico. Good luck to the Eagles and Sirianni, and good luck to Darius Butler, who will attempt a
Oh shit! All right.
basketball shot from the stage. Now, I will say, with Jabba's presence
Yeah.
in the Thunderdome, probably not going to be able to do the jump off the stage shot anymore if you were thinking about doing as such.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a game changer now.
Game changer, because... Oh,
Here we go.
here we go. Hey,
How's this look?
come on. It'll get out of your way now,
Yeah,
too.
don't hit Jabba.
You got to wait. We can't move it. We got to go to another preset.
We gotta wait for the move.
Yeah, Jabba is sticky defender.
Yeah,
Sticky defender.
That's right.
Now it's kind of moving in.
I shoot better with defense.
Here we go.
Oh, pump fake.
Good move.
Uh-oh.
Good move.
Jabba's in his head.
Nope. Damn, that was close.
Right here, right there.
I'm not going to play defense this time. Oh, that's it.
Oh!
Heartbreak City.
Man,
Next time.
I thought you were going to hit one of the lights on that one.
You took that one.
Put a little
You know, the
arc on
hoop's bigger from up there.
That's right, like a mortar.
it.
Up there, it's a little bigger.
Try to go Steph.
Hey, that was a good start.
Mortars are
That was a good start.
Yeah.
I feel
You
like
got
he's
it.
going to dial in.
Yeah.
Thank
right.
you, Jabba.
In and out.
Shout out Jabba playing a little D. We'll be back in 5 with AJ Hawk in a great hour or two.
Hell yeah.
A lot of football news to chat about, including Bill Belichick putting over a punter again. Love anytime he does that. I got my top plays I'm going to debut.
Here we go.
Can't wait for that.
Yes.
And Dan Snyder and the Washington Commanders attorneys sent a letter of disappointment to the House Oversight Committee
That's right.
of the United States government.
Not happy.
Thought he made an appearance for
Strongly
nothing.
worded.
It's a hatchet job.
Yeah.
That's what they said in the letter. Signed 4 people. Like, when people write song, we'll talk about it on the other side. They have like one song will have like 10 writers.
Right.
So is it word by word, line by line? You know, when those lawyers, all 4 of them sign it, who's handling
Who's
what?
writing what piece?
Is it the open, the middle, and the close? Hey, need you to do the burial. We'll do the, hey, how you doing? And then you do the burial, and then we need, hey, Ty, why don't you come in with another fucking, just send it home.
Probably is like that.
And then one comes in with like a thesaurus and changes some of the words.
Yeah,
to make
have
it
to.
Ah.
Not just any thesaurus, a legal thesaurus.
Because because that's a different language.
Yeah.
There is 4 lawyers, I believe, signed on this letter that
Right.
is 150 words.
And Dan Snyder, right?
I don't think his name's even on it.
Oh, okay.
He's talked about that.
Speaking
Yeah.
for Dan Snyder.
All right, we're back in 5 with a lot of shit. I mean, Law Talk,
Yeah.
Yep.
shout out. I believe That's Hockey Talk had its first episode of the season last night.
Shout
It's
out.
awesome.
We talked to Shams about a little basketball. We
What?
can follow up on that. And AJ Hawk will join us with his thoughts on how he thinks tonight's game is going to go. He's the one in control of the Super Boost. It's big for tonight. It is attainable. We'll have that and more. Take 5.
Take 5.
Big brain football.
Breaking news. The Kansas City Chiefs are really fucking good at football.
Kelsey over the middle, late to the end zone, touchdown, Kansas City.
Big reason for that? A lot of big brains running around in Chiefs jerseys on Sunday. Why? Monday, what? Thursday, what? In America, what? In England, what? No matter where they play, they have high IQ. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
I hit him with the bing bing, and then just go. Just go. Yeah. His eyes were in the backfield. As soon as I hit the 1-2, I was out of there. I knew I had nothing in the middle.
The middle was wide open because of Sky Moore, rookie, and MVS Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Clear out in a post to occupy the safeties, and Travis Kelce's able to waltz right in for his 72nd NFL touchdown. Bravo, Travis Kelce, and thanks for the big brain football by MVS and Sky Moore.
Who's backside? Go ahead, that was you? Yeah. Were you backside? Good. Baby, way to clear that. Who was that backside post?
Scott.
Huh?
Maybe Scott.
Scott? That way too full. Hey, Scott.
Kansas City's receivers might not be big names in the kingdom just yet, but they got big old brains.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
It wasn't a coincidence MVS was open down the seam. No.
You didn't cross the hat. You right on the hat.
Yeah, I literally, because they went invert, so I saw the safety run way over there. The other ones, I'm like, say they throw out the half.
Against the inverted safeties, MVS knew that the middle of the field would be wide open. Mahomes had a hunch that the 4.37 speed on a linebacker might be a favorable matchup.
A dart thrown by Patrick Mahomes.
Great job. Yes, sir.
One of the problems sometimes when you try and disguise coverages and drop somebody back late, you can zip somebody right past it. And it's exactly what happened with Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
The safety pressure, immediate invert. That's what it means every time.
Knowing coverages and how to beat them, that's smart football. But what Mahomes did on his second touchdown pass was a work of wizardry in the art of football IQ.
At the 2, they fake the trap. Now Mahomes scrambling to his right, holding it, gets off the hit, now lunging forward, and now fires it late, caught at the back of the end zone. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Mahomes with the touchdown pass.
Absolute banana land. Dude takes a snap, scrambles around for 7 seconds, which is almost a full bull ride, okay? Almost full bull ride. Spins, throws a touchdown, all the while remembering that they snapped the ball on the 2-yard line and he cannot cross that line and still throw a football.
Yo, I'm close. You got it. As long as you're there, you're good.
You get out of the pocket. Great. You make one of the league's best linebackers miss. Even better. But to stay behind the line of scrimmage so you can throw a touchdown, that's some big brain football.
I had to make up for it. I had to make up for it. I had to make up for that miss, baby.
2 plays before, wide open touchdown. Patrick says, you know what? Too easy. Let's make things a little bit more difficult. I'm going to miss this pass, be upset about it, but then I'm going to make magic.
I was able to use my speed to get a little bit of speed to get around the edge there. I was going to run for it, and they kind of flew around, and I realized I wasn't going to make it, and I saw Clyde, and so I just kind of flicked it up to him.
It's the line of scrimmage aspect of knowing that he's not going to throw the ball, past the line of scrimmage, and Pat is good, but kind of sensing where he is.
Stop, and now he's going to find the receiver. Stop it. Stop it.
The NFL hasn't seen anything like Pat Mahomes, I promise you that. And you saw it today. He's the Houdini of our era, man.
That's big brain football.
Y'all saw that? I know y'all saw that. That's right. That's something you do on Mac.
I love this Kansas City Chiefs team. I love how smart they are. I love how innovative they are. I love how creative they are. They had a tight end take a snap under center while Patrick Mahomes was having a little thespian acting job to distract everybody.
Now a direct snap, and the Chiefs trying to shove forward, touchdown!
The Chiefs are athletic. The Chiefs are fast. The Chiefs are magical. Andy Reid has a big brain and a beautiful mustache, but most importantly, they have a lot of guys that master the art of big brain football. Why?
Let's go.
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Boston.
Welcome back to the program. It is Colts and Broncos on Thursday night. Thursday, October 6th, 2022. This show, now we go into hour 2. That was on me. From the top? No, I'm joking. Welcome back to the program, hour 2 on this glorious Thursday, October 6th, 2022. Years kind of run by.
Yeah.
We're already week 5 of the NFL season. There's only 18 weeks of the NFL season, regular season. Let's remember that. Let's enjoy the hell out of all of these games. Let's enjoy the hell out of every single day with the Talks at Table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. I appreciate you fine gentlemen. Yesterday with Sirianni, with you being Sirianni, Ty, some of your finest work, pal.
I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it. I didn't think we'd ever get that opportunity, but we did. It was awesome.
We had a chance to conversate with the Philadelphia Eagles PR people, and they said, give us a list of people that you want. And we obviously thought to ourselves, there's a lot of people on that team that we would want.
Sure. Let's go football team.
But we've been in this game a long time.
Yeah.
If we send a list, whoever is the most attainable on said list is going to be the person that we're going to get, because we're a new show in town. Okay, new show in town. Understand there's elder statesmen out there who have shows at the same time or have other shows that might occupy some people's times. So with the Philadelphia Eagles, which we've had no relationship with at all.
Nope.
So we'd be okay if we have no relationship ever with them at all. We sent back a hope and a prayer with one person. Coach Sirianni is the only person we'd like to have on the show, and then wrote up an entire thing basically about what we do. If they didn't know, here's a clip, here's everything, because we wanted it to be, all hands on deck here. Apparently somebody at the Eagles had already known about it. It was well received in the past. Yeah. So us asking that request was simple, easy. Coach said he's down for whatever, however long you want to have him or whatever. So we can't thank Coach Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles enough.
Thank you, Eagles.
Thank you for that opportunity to do that. That was fucking awesome.
All time.
It really was. He was great in that conversation, too. Can't wait to follow the Eagles a little bit closer now, because we got a guy that we love as the head coach. So one half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here, Tone. Tonight, where's the money at? Where's the money not at? What should we be thinking about with the public? Because remember, just 1 week ago, I was on the public side, and Tone told me 75% of the people were with me. I think it was the Rams at the time.
Yep.
And I go, fuck. I'm fucked. Every single weekend, FanDuel is winning, it seems like, in this NFL season. Now, we might have got them on one night. Because something happened. But it feels like a lot of what the public's thinking is going to take place here in the first few weeks has not been what has actually taken place in the first few weeks. So if we're with them, but that could change.
That's right. It could change at any moment.
That could change tonight. That could change tonight. Let's not let past outcomes indicate what we're doing in the present, because it has no indication on it. The only thing that really has an indicator at Darius J. Butler, host of the Man to Man podcast and everything DB, is when you roll a 5.
You know that 9 on the other side.
And if somebody brings you a beer, they're a guy. Okay? Those are indicators in there. This is just something that we have to take account for whenever we're making our decision. Where's the money at on this evening's game between the Broncos and the Colts in Denver?
We have, if you go to FanDuel Sportsbook and you look at where the money is, we have two-way action, 50%, 50%.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Even better.
That's what FanDuel was looking for.
Right.
Every time they're setting a line, that's exactly what they're looking for. That might be why it hasn't moved. There's been no movement on this for the last few days. A couple guys out, couple guys not playing, not a lot of movement. They see it going a certain way. D-Butt, I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this entire game. I really am, and who you think's going to win, because this Broncos defense, especially with Patrick Surtain playing the way he's playing, that sounds like they're impenetrable. Is that what are dudes penetrating these guys or what?
Well, Tone said they got a weakness, and that's the run game. But I do like Surtain a lot. I like Kareem Jackson. I like the whole secondary. But, that offense, I feel like with Hackett, with Russ, you feel like at any point that offense can figure it out. And there's been some games where they put up yards and haven't really punched it in, like the primetime one. But
was Hackett the play caller in Green Bay?
I do not believe so, no.
Flyer.
Yeah,
that
LaFleur.
was, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So how do we know they're going to figure it out?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to. Nathaniel Hackett, everybody loves him. Seems to be come from a great coaching tree, right? I mean, I think
Paul Hackett, yep.
His dad literally in the game, so you'd assume he'd figure it out. But I don't know if there's anything we can just go like, yeah, definitely going to figure it out. Hopefully Russ will be able to. Joining us now is a man who probably.
I mean, that is a big old moth or
There's a
something.
locust in here.
Everybody watch your mouths. I'm not saying like with what you're saying, but
Yeah.
that thing's going to attack a mouth.
Yeah, that's right.
If we know anything about studio space,
And build a hive inside your fucking stomach.
this is what happens when you move into a church.
Oh, locust.
Oh, D-Bud is down there. Go fucking stomp on that thing.
What is locust number 2 of the?
You don't need to stomp on it.
Is it a moth or a locust? If
You
it's a
got it.
moth, it might be Buffalo
don't
Bill
like killing
in the back.
things, but-
Well, do we have like any sort of? Is it a smart bug or?
It's dead.
Do we know?
It's dead now.
It's a dead bug.
Yep.
Joining us now is a man who was happy to see that. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor, multi-time.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Incredibly handsome. You'll see these blue eyes in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall.
Hey!
Look at those things.
Holy shit.
What's up?
I never noticed how blue AJ
Yeah.
was.
Oh, piercing.
Crazy, dude.
Like the Night King.
I accidentally made eye contact with him the first time I seen him.
Yeah.
I was turned to stone.
He also has a blue light that faces him to make them look more blue.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you
flesh
got those
one.
contacts in? Those contacts they were
Oh,
giving
yeah.
out to people?
I usually change them up. I'm surprised you don't notice. Like some days my eyes are brown, some black, some blue. You never know what my real color is.
Well, we love when you keep us guessing.
Yeah.
Thank you, AJ.
Yeah.
Hey, great to see you, man. How are you doing? Obviously, huge night tonight with Colts and the Broncos. We talked in the first hour a little bit about how this is a narrative-building game for both of these teams. The Broncos, I believe, their fan base has thought they've been a little bit underwhelmed in the let's ride era with Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett, especially with the wealthiest owner in the NFL spending $260 million to keep this guy around without ever seeing him play football for our team. They've looked kind of stumbling out the gates. They did have to play the Niners, so that's a difficult team to have to play against for anybody, but there's been other poor showings as well. Will the defense be able to win them a game is what everybody's thinking against the Indianapolis Colts, who were sputtering towards oh, fuck, what happened season. Last weekend, they looked bad against the Titans for a majority of the game. The game before that, it looked like they were going to lose to the Chiefs. They get a massive win against the Chiefs, and nobody saw it coming because the game before that, they lost 24-0 to the fucking Jaguars. So the Colts team have a lot of things that they can prove tonight if they can win this game on prime time. Like, hey, maybe this is a year. Maybe there's another week of hope. Maybe the team can put it together with Jonathan Taylor out and Shaq Leonard out, two of your best players. And on the Broncos, we don't stink. We actually are good. The money was well spent. It just took us some time to figure it out. That was the conversation in the first hour, AJ. Is that how you feel? And do you have anything to add on to that?
There's a lot to digest there. I need to think it through a little bit, but what's on the top of my mind was I was connected before you went to break, and you were asking D, but are these guys penetrable? Are they going to be able to penetrate these guys? Like that's what you were asking, correct?
Yeah, I want to know if the offense.
I'm banking on the Colts D line and their ability to penetrate the Broncos offensive line at least enough to make it a game.
Okay, so you think defense getting penetration on Denver's offense?
Mm-hmm.
D
Yeah, and hopefully
penetrating.
Denver doesn't open up those big gaping holes because then it'll be a long night for Indianapolis.
That's right, and that's football. Yes, there's nobody else in this room that can make that sound.
That's right.
Ty can do 10 different dudes. Okay, Connor can do 3 or 4. What?
A lot of penetration talk.
What are we doing?
You guys, get your head out of the gutter.
What is the problem?
This is
Boys.
disgusting.
Come on, Z.
Oh, I'm sorry, children.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Ty can impersonate with his mouth and vocal cords like 10 different dudes. Connor can be 4 or 5 different guys with his mouth. There's a lot of talent with voices around here.
Tons of talent.
There's only one mouth that can make that sound that you hear, and that's why he makes it, because he knows it. It's a good one. It's a good one. It fits in. It was going to be his fantasy football team name, you remember?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to try to make us have to say that every single time we say his team name. We couldn't
right.
figure it out. Nobody else can say it. Zito, you have a real talent back there, sir.
Team Fresh Meat.
Boom.
Nice.
That's his actual team name with the kiss emojis.
Not going to be able to say it, though.
No, can't.
How is fantasy football going? My team good?
Yeah, you got a
Yeah,
good
not
squad.
bad.
Best team in the league.
Gumpy, actually.
That baby Phil?
Gumpy is
Who's
undefeated.
not good.
Oh.
Shocker.
Yeah, their team absolutely fucking stinks.
Worst team I've
Got
ever
fucked
seen in
over,
fantasy
man.
football in my entire life.
Really?
By
season.
far.
Long season.
What happened?
They drafted Naeem Hines in like
shitty
the second
pick.
round.
Tonight it pays off.
We drafted AK, we got Kamara, He was one of our first picks.
Yep. And then Hines in the second round
Long
before
season,
Travis
long
Kelce.
season.
I believe you already cut bait with Nyheim Hines, right? You guys traded him.
He's about to play now.
Yeah, they don't have him anymore.
Yeah, he's playing for Team Fresh Meat, I believe.
Got him. Got Patterson.
Are we doing any
Traded
trades?
Patterson.
Are people trading? AJ, I know you tried to trade literally.
I sure tried to.
Connor
No
took
takers.
advantage of me.
Yeah, I didn't take advantage of Tony, but I
Yeah,
did
you
trade and get Graham Gano back because he is now in his rightful home. He's been a huge hit for our locker
My
room.
team's 0-2 since trading Graham Gano. It was
That's
a
right.
terrible trade.
We
Bad
are
idea. Locker room's completely disheveled.
And Team Graham Gano Rocks is now 2-0 since getting Graham Gano. Not
Is
to
that
mention
the X factor?
massive
Graham
chance.
Gano.
Yes.
He hits long balls.
Yeah, and he's got a C on his chest now. The
I-
boys love him in there.
I had a kid, and 6 hours later, Connor sent me a trade request, and I didn't even know where I was at, and I accidentally hit accept and fucking.
What was it?
Right from the Belichick tree.
I gave him I gave him
God, I was
I gave
chewing
him
on
Tyreek
paper.
Hill and Justin Jefferson for like Mohamed Sanu or something.
Tony's just spinning some yarn over there. I gave him the Broncos defense, which Darius talks about, unbelievable.
Dogs.
And I got Zach Ertz, and he wasn't even playing Zach Ertz at the time, so it was a fair trade. But I mean, yeah, I've been in the lab trying to, make some trades. I have been known to be a mad scientist when it comes to fantasy football. Sue me.
Like Tomlin said about Von Miller.
Bingo.
That's right.
Like Billy Bean chewing on paper when he's trying to make trades with everybody.
Okay, so in first place,
Oh,
Team
my
Gump.
God.
Had a baby Gump.
Way to go, Gumpy.
We're the only winless.
Gumpy's undefeated. He's like the Philadelphia Eagles. Team Gump up there in Canada. They know their fantasy, eh, Paul?
They do,
Yeah.
Paul.
AJ, how about that Canadian fantasy, eh?
I took on Gump last week, I believe. He ended up just barely edging me out.
Oh, okay, so he has been in games. I haven't been able to follow closely enough how these games have gone. I don't know the teams through and through. I do know that CFO Phil.
I don't really know, tell you the truth. I know we were playing him, though.
Yeah, he barely beat off Mike Hawkhurst. Barely.
He was edging him.
Yeah.
Was it really close?
It was a close game.
There we go.
Good battle.
You guys are down
job,
there in
Bill.
ninth place. My team with Phil is in second place. That a baby Phil. Good work,
Good.
Phil. Coastal Elites, Bruce Brown in third. Not too bad there, Bruce. Now, Bruce is the commissioner of the league, so there might be some fuckery there.
Sure.
Yeah, he always seems to get the first waiver. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that's weird.
In the fourth place, Fresh Meat. That was 4 or 5, but I think there was a letter.
Yeah,
yeah.
Max.
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, he maxed it out with all the emojis, so he couldn't get all the extra kisses in. Although it is said, it's not wrote. The Clobbering Cabolis. That's your team, Nick?
That's me.
Ty?
That is my team. Yep.
With his face, actually.
Yeah, you can
In
see
the
my
team.
my team logo is actually Caboli's face on there.
Yeah.
You should wear a walking boot.
Well,
Easy, AJ.
actually, that's when the season kind of turned around. Is when Caboli found himself in the hospital again, and my boys knew, hey, we got to put on for our namesake,
Yeah.
and they have. 2 weeks. I scored 165 points this last week, and it is
Highest point total
Yeah.
by any team.
What's so funny?
What, dude?
Caboli's on
Not at
IR.
all.
Okay.
Foxy, Caboli is battling.
Come
Yeah.
on.
You wanted to talk to him yesterday.
Literally reached out to him. I'm like, hey, how's Caboli doing? And we didn't know because he hasn't tweeted in weeks.
No, that's the universe saying, like, hey, guess what? Our namesake is down on his luck right now. Boys need to go out there and perform. Okay?
For him.
And TJ Hawkinson last week, he fucking took that message to heart.
Fighting Otters. Who are the Fighting Otters?
That's Mitt.
Man,
Sixth place, not too bad. 2-2. A lot of people tied here, I guess. So we're
Yeah.
going to have to go into standings.
Yeah, 2-2 is all a tie, right?
Then it's points after that.
Oh.
Yeah. Point
Total points.
total is the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Fresh meat.
Oh, Team Graham Gano rocks the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is that you, Diggs? The Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, that's scumbag stolen valor Foxy.
Whoa, that's me.
Foxy. What's that all about?
Well, 2-0 with Graham Gano, 0-2 without him. So
That's
my
what
team
happened.
Boom.
absolutely stinks now, just like the real Pittsburgh Steelers.
Grabbed his
Oh,
captain.
Team Graham Gano rocks is climbing up the charts here, right?
That's right. Started out 0-2, really down on our luck. Didn't really have that leader in the locker room. We trade Adam Thielen for Graham Gano. All of a sudden, everybody's following. Number 9 up there in New York,
Scoring.
scoring points. Back-to-back huge weeks. I do have the undefeated Team Gumps though this weekend. So
Oh, we need you.
we'll see how it goes.
you.
Hey, we need you to get a win there against
Yeah.
Gump. We miss you, Gump, but also need a 1 in that L call.
Yeah. He's got a lot of Denver guys going for him tonight. So
Mike Hawkhurst here. We talked about them edging.
Hey, my defense had a negative score. I think last game.
Yeah, the Bucs defense. They gave up 41 points. What do you?
So how do you get points as a defense?
Did you see what Patrick Mahomes did? That's how you definitely lose points.
Yeah, it was a rough one. But how do we get points defensively?
Sacks, interceptions,
interceptions, fumble
good
recoveries.
stuff. Not giving up points.
Ty, you don't need the attitude, Ty.
Well, three and out. I assume 3 and out is
Nope.
Yards.
Nope. Yeah, yards
They
and
don't care.
points.
They don't know.
You start with 10
what?
points.
They don't care about yards.
Hey, fantasy football. We need to relax here. Real life football. Let's get them off
No one
the
cares
field.
about yards given up. Everyone's going to give up 5,000 yards.
Well, you know
start
who
the
does
game.
is fantasy football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's why your team stinks.
How about 3 and out? We get 5 points or something.
5 points. What the? You don't know how this works, Hawk.
Dude, a
Shut
3 and
up.
out is huge. You know how huge a 3 and out is? That's fucking massive bump.
Absolutely, but that's you also get the special teams points. So you get a 3 and out, and then you get a punt return touchdown. Boom, you get 6 points right there.
I'm just saying there should be a little bit more reality in this fantasy if people really want to get their rocks off.
Sure.
This shit.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, look, I got the Colts defense, and no one's more pissed than me because they are not been playing well. So
What's that all
I
about?
drafted
D-Buck?
Jonathan Taylor first overall. Your MVP. Guy stinks. Can't even go on field.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Well, there's no goddamn accountability. It feels like, but
What is your problem?
get there. Look, we're talking about these quarterbacks, having a little trouble adapting to new teams, with Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson. The O-line and the running back aren't adapting to shit. Just fucking hand them the ball and run through the hole, but there aren't any goddamn holes. It sucks. The city sucks when the Colts suck.
right.
I'm sick of it.
The Pacers get started soon, right?
They fucking suck even more.
No.
Yeah.
No, the Pacers are going to be good. The guy hit the anvil.
No, they are terrible.
I
The
think-
guy hit the anvil, exactly.
I think
they don't
they-
have a guy. No one knows
No, it was
his
the
name.
guy.
He just started playing here.
I think the 11 stinks too.
No,
They're
Indy
good.
11?
They're good.
And no one gives a fuck about them anyways.
No, they do. They
Pat, I
have a
thought you
fever
said they
squad.
haven't won in like 3
The
months.
fever.
Who the hell is
Their
that?
season's up.
Yeah.
The Fever,
AJ.
Fever had
Come
6
on.
first-round
11?
picks, so yeah.
Oh, the 11, you don't know the fever. You know who the fever are.
Yeah, everybody does. But the 11, what's 11?
It's a soccer club here in town.
Minor league soccer
MLS?
team.
I'm about to go all
No,
in on the goddamn Indy Power or whatever the hell it is. The hockey team they have.
Fuel?
Fuel,
There it
dude.
is.
They're
It's a
awesome.
Fuel.
They're actually
You
getting
can go in on them.
they're actually getting a new arena built. It's gonna be sweet.
Hey, that baby. Let's
Look
go
at that.
fuel.
Who's paying for that?
Me probably. It's actually
Yeah, the goddamn city. Oh!
Oh, crappy. First spill.
Yep.
First spill.
Didn't touch the ground.
Way to save it.
Big win.
That is the same table from the other studio, though, so that thing has been spilled on plenty of
Oh, yeah,
times.
true.
Leaking towards you too. You might want to.
Block that
Yeah,
shit.
you might want to get that figured out.
All right, let's talk about some stories. That was terrible. So, fantasy football, sorry.
It stinks. Fantasy football stinks.
Mike
you
Hawkhurts
suck
in
at
9th, Puckins in 10th, Paulie Walnuts Ponders in 11th.
yeah.
That's tough.
I'm the Lions basically. I got most points for and most points against. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, you fucking go for it. And then the Dirty Butts right there in dead last.
Yeah, right where we picked.
Worst team in the history of the game.
Everybody's on the trade block right now.
Everybody can.
Everybody.
Anybody doing any
Everybody.
business with the Dirty Butts?
Yeah, I'll trade you Odell for your best player.
Shit, which one?
How about that?
Alvin Kamara, that was our first round pick. You can have him. I'll take Odell.
No, it's okay. He stinks. I want your best player.
Whoa, Alvin Kamara?
He's good.
He's only played
Hey,
in
do we
like
have to do
2
another
games.
draft at playoff time?
What's that, AJ?
Do we have to do another draft when
No,
the
it's
playoffs
over.
come?
Fantasy's
No,
over before the playoffs.
Ends the week before the season ends.
So 17
Yeah,
weeks?
week 17. It's the last week.
We got a
Oh, I
lot
thought
of
that was
ball
the
left.
playoff.
They don't do 18 because sometimes guys sit and don't play the
Okay.
last week.
We got a lot of ball left, Gertie. Come on, Gertie.
No, I was just about to say, I think it's over for you guys already.
Yeah, you guys are done.
Yeah, your team
You're
stinks.
probably gonna have to win out, and you won't because your team stinks. So yeah.
Let's go, Herbert. Diggs.
You actually traded one of your best players to fresh meat, and he went off for like
Who?
20 points. Cordero Patterson.
Oh, he's on IR now.
Yeah, well, he would have won you a game last week. And you guys need him
What you
back.
got?
No, he
Swap
wouldn't win
there.
that game. We lost by 60.
Oh, he lost by 60.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even know that.
Because my GM Dirty didn't bench Alvin Kamara.
Oh!
That's what happens when we get 0-4. You start pointing fingers.
No
Hey,
chemistry.
Dirty's been busy, you know?
Sure.
My GM is great.
Well, you have to say that or it'll slit your throat.
That may be part of it, but no, Bill has done amazing. I love what Bill is doing.
Hey, Bill, we love you, Bill.
Love you, Bill.
Love you.
Bill's got his own room.
He does.
Bill's got his own
No, I
office.
saw it.
His kill shelter?
Yeah, that's where those moths came from.
No,
They
Bill's
really did, actually.
Bill's room though
Moth gone.
got like
What's it
taken
like?
over.
Yeah.
What's it like back there?
It's pretty nice
I'm
office.
never
He's
gonna-
got 2 windows. He got 2 windows.
Really?
Yeah, he covers him with pillows, though. He likes it dark.
No, he does not. This is bullshit.
Those aren't pillows. That's you've ever seen Dexter.
I want to say this.
basically.
Bill is a fucking hardworking, good dude.
He's a dog.
The things you guys say about him are rude. Okay. With that being
Very
said,
rude.
it does seem as if he does feed into it at any
He
chance he
does.
possibly
He
can.
certainly does not do himself any favors.
I've been meaning to ask you. 'cause
Love Bill. Bill
sometimes-
has been an adult since he was 4 years old.
He has.
Sometimes he's been. There's a trap door here that he sneaks through here. Sometimes you care if I put a claymore there.
A Claymore like Drew McIntyre?
No, Claymore mine.
Yeah. Like it blows up.
Like
So
Bill,
you kill him.
yeah, Bill steps
Like a
on the
tripwire.
tripwire and
Do not. We
Don't do
need
that.
Bill. Do not.
We need him.
We need Bill. Also, don't be putting bombs in here. I thought you were going to Claymore kick him in the face.
No,
that
that'd be
would
sweet,
actually,
too.
yeah.
It's an incendiary. It
Not
only-
one, not two, but 3 Claymore kicks.
Actually, it'd be quite calculated. If one.
Maybe get Angela.
Bill would eat that, and then Bill would choke you out, I think. But anyways, yeah, he's got his own office back here, and ESPN sent their satellite Suburban. You know, the satellite truck, it became a van, and then it became a Sprinter, and then now they have satellite Suburbans, which is great. But nobody can sit inside of the Suburban with all the stuff in it, so they had to bring all their stuff basically into Bill's office. So there is stuff in Bill's office back there, but he's still got his good space.
It was nice of him to clean out the rib cages and torsos and skeletons
All right,
and skulls
so-
out of there for them.
I guess that documentary, it's not a documentary, I'm learning as I go here, but that series has like the 4th or 5th most watch time in 1 week drop period in Netflix's
Really?
history.
Wow.
Squid Game was a big one. Exotic, I
Joe
think.
Exotic.
Stranger
Tiger
Things,
King.
Hubie Halloween.
Why do you think people love shit like that?
Watched that
Halloween.
last night, by the way, Diggs.
Banger.
Hubie Halloween?
Dead serious. Yeah, I was like, yeah, with my kids, like, let's watch a Halloween
good.
movie. We put up some decorations outside, so I'm like, let's do it. Hubie Halloween, you know what? Not the worst thing I've seen.
Thank you.
We all agree. We all agree. Tone doesn't. That's why he said it. But
Sandler still has it.
I think the reason why people enjoy it is because, like, you know, it's hard to fathom that human exists. You know, like that just person's walking amongst you. It's like we put people up on a pedestal because they're doing things that we don't think we can do, and it's like, holy shit, this is some sort of superhuman. And when it's on the complete opposite side, I think people are same, like, enamored almost by it. And I think that's why everybody wants to watch it. Just and I think it's a good reminder, like, hey,
People like this exist.
there's people, there's motherfuckers out there that you're not going to be able to fix. Like as you're watching this series, and who knows what's real and what isn't now at this point. Have you watched the entirety of it yet, AJ, or no?
Not all of it, but I know his story. I know he was drilling into people's foreheads and creating zombies and eating bodies and everything. So
And
that's
drugging
real.
them and everything, yeah. And he had bodies inside the walls of his house or whatever. But he was, you know, opening up towards the end there of his thing, allegedly. I think all of it's from his actual transcript conversation, so I think it is what he's saying. And, like, the things he's saying is like, have you ever met somebody who's just, like, evil? And it's like his dad's trying to figure out where it went wrong. His mom's trying to figure it out. And he's like, this is just how I am.
Yeah.
Like, it's just who I am.
Nuts.
It's like,
Scary.
God damn, a human can just be created like that. Like, that is a good reminder, I think,
Yes.
for all of us to kind of. So I think that's why people watch it. I think it's that type of thing where it's like, can't be real. But also, you can see the argument in kind of glamorizing this type of thing, too. Because at the end, he got like fans and shit, people writing to him, making his life different, giving him money. It's like,
They always do, man.
listen, this cannot be something that we think, this is heel. This is the worst heel of all time. This is bad people. Can't have people fantasizing about the whole thing. But when you watch it, it's hard not to keep watching. It's a wild thing. It's a wild thing us humans kind of go through.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, that's chilling, like you said, especially like, you know, when you start having kids and stuff, it's like, hey, parenting might not even matter. Like you could do everything right and your kids still just like that's just the way they are.
I think there's certainly some fuck ups from the parents, but from what I've heard, like every parent fucks up though. You know?
Yeah. There's a lot of horrendous parents out there, and their kid doesn't turn into Jeffrey Dahmer. So, yeah, that's what's scary about it. You never really know.
Hey, that's the motivator though, right? If you have a kid, don't create a Dahmer.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
even
I said that last week.
Yeah, there it is.
Because other guys I know were watching, like, have you guys seen that? I was like, man, I was watching some of it, and I think I texted you that, yeah.
It's an actual standard. It's
I
like
want to raise a Dahmer.
please, fucking A. All right.
There's got to be signs early on, though.
Yeah, they kill animals.
Yep.
that's
Peter
Part of it.
Pan.
Wet
Peter
the
Pans. Yeah.
Something you say a lot too. Say something nice, people beat that. You know, I feel like that's
Yeah.
important too. You bully motherfuckers. So that sometimes
Yep.
flips that switch too. So.
Forever.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Forever. Like sometimes people can't come back from hating everybody because of how they get treated, which isn't, hey, listen, That's not, I don't think that's a normal thing. I don't think that's a lot of people, but I think there are people out there that are like that, and we should acknowledge that those people exist. So maybe, like just, hey, how you doing? And then, all right, fucking weirdo, man, all right.
Well,
You don't have to be rude to the people, though, You don't have to be rude to them. Just keep it inside. Just keep it moving,
Larry Hall, another series we just watched too. Like you learn about his childhood and the sequence of events, but also there is still that part that felt like he was kind of always like that almost.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yep.
Hey, don't look at me.
Thanks
look
a
at
lot.
Z.
The question is, when do they cross the line and actually like start killing people? And then they just keep going. It seems like
you get older.
I'm hoping with the way modern world is, where like everything is documented.
Yeah.
Basically, I guess there's still unsolved murders and stuff. There's one here in Indiana that's insane. Me and Jim Irsay, I think, put up like $50,000 each for any tips. 2 girls were just murdered out in the middle of a walkway in the middle of the woods in a small town here in Indiana. Haven't found the person. Have a kind of a camera on him, but can't really see him. So I guess there's still a chance that these people exist. And they always say the stats, like, hey, there's this many serial killers walking around or whatever. I'm like, I feel like everything right now is captured, basically.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a lot of the place that isn't. And that's just me being naive. I guess there's places in the woods and shit like that where things can happen we don't get it. But I feel like we'd be on to these motherfuckers earlier. Don't you think?
I think it's a lot tougher to get away with anything right now with all the ring cams, the security cams. They can track back 30 streets and see where your car was coming. Like, hey, people that get away with it, I don't know how you do.
Well, and also back in the day, they used to track cell phones, and obviously we have somebody we know, but also if you watch a Dateline, and it would just be able to put a triangle, like, they're within this 20-mile area here. If we had to get, we got a ping here, and then at 1:30 a.m., we got a ping on this one, so they would have had to have been in this area. Now it's like everything basically has like a locator.
Yeah, right away.
There it is. What car are they in? Boom. All right, where's the... Yeah, Oklahoma.
You want to learn a lot, watch Criminal Minds with Aaron Hotchner. Fucking 16 seasons of fucking filled with serial killer knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Well, even
I don't want to watch it that much, I think. I think that's a dabble situation. I think that's a dabble. Okay, I get the toxicity in my life. Let me get back to watching, football and wrestling.
Did you watch the one on Netflix that's good? Mindhunter?
Yeah, I tried to. That was the first episode the guy couldn't make. I was like, all right, it seems to be a little bit too serious. Got to get into the right mind frame for that. But I think it's worth a watch just because you're like, this human
fascinating.
Has existed. Let's go through some stuff. Von Miller chit-chatted about Kenny Pickett and his statements on Von Miller's Twitch stream last night. Von Miller, friend of the program, will not be on program going forward.
Wait, what
What happened?
Why?
What the?
What happened?
Are you serious?
Expecting
Are we at
him
the weekly?
in less than an hour.
What happened?
Huh? Why is everybody so negative about
My
this?
favorite parts of the
What
week.
happened? I
Pissed.
thought he was
This
coming
can't
on
be
today.
Vaughn's
Said he
decision.
was
really like him.
scientist.
It wasn't
seemed like
Vaughn's
it, yeah, it
decision.
seems like he loves
It's
it.
powers that be.
Which powers?
What
Bills?
powers?
No, the Bills.
We'll try to beat him this week.
No, I think that ain't going.
The fucking president?
Good luck.
Bills loves us.
Bills
Okay,
do
so
love
He
that.
does have it. He does do his own show
So
too,
not-
right?
Yes,
Why?
that's the thing. That's
Not
the
the
thing.
Bills.
What's his own show? Never heard of it.
Bleacher Report.
It's the Voncast. The Voncast. It's a good podcast.
Oh, it's on Bleacher Report?
Yes.
Is
But
it?
Anyways, nonetheless.
They
Well, I think he's doing once a week there.
Fuck 'em.
Oh, powers that be. Of
No, listen,
Vaughn.
I do, but I appreciate what you just said. But for whatever reason, they think that is the right move for the business.
They hate us.
Potentially.
Well, I hate them.
They could take shots using
No, you don't have
cartoons,
to.
but can't let.
Yeah, tell them,
Yeah.
hey, I don't want to be in Gridiron Heights anymore.
You know
Take
what?
me
Fuck,
out.
don't tell him.
I'm
Let's
honored.
fucking sue him.
I'm honored I was in Gridiron Heights, to be honest with you. But, no big deal. That's how they feel their
I'm gonna
business.
smack him in the mouth.
Who do we got to talk to? Lefko?
No, listen,
He's busy. He's
I
back
don't
on
know.
NBA TNT, killing it.
Tuesday nights, he does kill it. We move on. That's what they thought that was right for business, good for them. Voncast on Bleacher Report is his show, and I think it was something that he was maybe focusing, who knows, too much time. Maybe it wasn't Vaughn, I guess. But nonetheless, we appreciate the hell out of Von Miller and got a chance to learn a little bit more about his brain, how much he respects football and everything like that in our conversations. Also, his chicken farm and his clothing, everything he's got going on. I mean, he's an absolute study. Supergrass, all that stuff. And how he feels about, some chip blocks and everything. It was great conversations. We appreciate the hell out of him. But we know we do miss you.
Miss you, Vaughn.
Vaughn.
We'll listen to the Voncast on Bleacher Report so we can get our weekly dose of Von Miller's big old brain.
That's right.
Can't do it.
Yeah. No changes.
No.
What are you guys talking about?
Can't do it. If he switches from Bleacher Report, maybe.
No.
But until then,
This ain't one of those. Anyways, he got a chance to open up a little bit about Kenny Pickett, and what Kenny Pickett said was basically, something about an underdog in that whole thing. And Von Miller live on his Twitch, twitch.tv/Von Miller, I believe. He got a little bit of a promo, and I enjoy listening to Von Miller talk about not only the game, but the mentality behind it. Here's from Von Miller's Twitch just last evening about Kenny Pickett in his first start for the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend against Von Miller and the Buffalo Bills defense.
Everyone thinks we're underdogs, but we don't. Who thinks you're an underdog, bud? Like, jeez, Kenny.
I watch him on Twitch.
Yeah.
Nobody said, what? Stop it, Kenny. Stop it, Kenny. Don't try to get crazy on us, man. We're just come in and play the game. Don't. Hey, why is he looking at the spread? Nobody looks at the spread of the game. Like, nobody's looking at none of that. Like, we're just getting ready to play the Steelers, bro. Like, don't try to get fake mad at don't try to get crazy on us, man. Nobody thinks you're underdogs, Kenny. Like, no, you're trying to, don't do it. No, don't do it. Stop it, man. Stop.
I think the thing about it is he wanted to make sure Kenny Pickett knew, hey, we have respect for you, Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
This is just because everybody else is saying it. Don't fucking listen. This ain't coming from us at all, which I appreciate. I do like the fact, though, that like Diggs said in the middle of that, Tomlin certainly uses the spread. You guys are 14-point underdogs. Largest point spread for a Steelers team in like 20 years or something. Ever.
Since the merger, right?
Yep.
Since the merger of the league. So Tomlin's definitely letting them know that. Von Miller's like, well, just listen, sportsbooks can say what they want. Everybody else, it ain't coming from us. I think that's what he was saying. Is that what you got out of that, AJ?
Yeah, and I think a lot of their games that the Bills go into, they're going to be the favorite. Like, they're not looking at the spread. They don't care. Like, they really don't. I think for the most part, maybe it's different now. Teams don't really, players, coaches maybe, if it's a gigantic spread, could use it as motivation. But normally, I don't think week-to-week players care that much.
So I'm intrigued on how it turns over because it wasn't talked about at all in any of the conversations I had. Now, there was other potential, situation where money was being wagered on things happening. Okay, not involving sport, involving skill.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cornhole is a sport, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Jones.
Oh, yeah.
He was almost professional, but there was just a graphic. But nonetheless, nobody wants to be the Pete Rose of football. Okay, no. And it's not even something that even enters into the world. Fantasy football does because people say, hey, you ruined my fantasy team. Some guys, I think, even play fantasy football, but that shit wasn't talked about whenever I was having conversations around the locker room. But you could see how that could be motivation, though, as the world continues to evolve in a sports book world, do you think? Or is that just something that whenever it's the biggest in the history of the team, it is going to be something that's going to get brought up by Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, maybe as a one-off, like in this situation. But like you guys said, that was something we never talked about because we know none of that shit matters. Like
at all.
Records, none of that shit matters when you go out there and play the game. And this is Steelers. Like you never take the Steelers lightly with Mike Tomlin coach. I don't care who's trotting out there and playing for him.
I remember, I grew up around a lot of Italians, and as we got older, there were some of my Italian friends that were doing, some sports gambling before it was legalized here in the United States in a certain amount of states. And I was always so fascinated whenever I would talk to them about it because I was, at that time, college kicker and punter, okay? So kicking definitely matters. Punting in actual football does matter, even though the people that are betting probably don't know that. And I'm like, I have no idea how the fuck I'm going to do this weekend. Like I seem to hit the ball far.
Coaches don't know. Coaches don't know what team's going to be out there.
So I think that also adds into the thought to what D-Butt was saying. Like, it's hard to take sports gambling serious whenever you have no fucking idea how you're going to perform. Now, I'm sure there's guys that are just like, yeah, I'm going to have 200 yards, 10 catches, 4 touchdowns today or whatever every single day, and I like that type of optimism. But if that person was to get real, it's like, oh, this week I might be not as many targets, I might not do that. It's a whole – I think that's an interesting part of retiring from the NFL and then wanting to still, kind of feel involved in the NFL and then starting to bet on the NFL, bringing that competitive juice. And now it's like almost perfect for retired guys. But whenever you're in it, it's never really brought up. That's why the Ridley thing was so surprising, I think. So I think it was surprising to a lot of us because it's like, Now, granted, I don't know what the modern locker room's like because we're not in there since it's been, legalized in states or whatever, but that shit was never talked about, I think. Everybody's worried to get fucking canceled almost from their entire career.
Yeah, that was the thing too. They would bring in, the guys that would talk about, sports betting and things that went on behind the scenes, and then that was like dudes are more afraid to bet on games than they were to take steroids or some shit. You know what I mean? So these last 5 years, I've been out going on 5 years now. I'm sure it's changed a lot though with all the sports books, all the betting. I think the Cardinals have a sports book in the stadium.
Yeah, I think it's FanDuel.
Yeah, so there is much more in their day-to-day life now. So they probably talk about it more now.
You're going on 5 years, retired?
Yep.
Congratulations, your insurance is running out.
Yep. One more year. Thank you, NFL.
Thank you for the 5 years. That should be lifetime. One of these insurances should just step up and become the lifetime insurance partner of the NFL or whatever.
Smart.
It's an easy marketing ploy. It's a massive piece of conversation between the NFLPA and retired players because retired players tell the NFLPA to go fuck themselves because it seems like they don't take care of retired players. And every player in the league doesn't fully understand that you're going to be a retired player someday. So everything that's happening for retired players that you're voting on right now is who you are going to be someday. 100% of you are going to be that. So there's like kind of a joust game going on between active NFL, like, yeah, we're here, we're doing this, let's worry about us. And then also like, oh, us though, also going to be this group of guys who I'm very lucky and very fortunate to be where I'm at in my life. But a lot of guys don't necessarily have that type of thing happen. Yeah. That's why documentaries take place where 80% of guys are broke and 80% of this, they don't have health insurance. It's like at some point there has to be some answer. And I actually pitched this at a, what is that called when everybody sits in a circle?
Summit?
No, it's actual circle, like round.
Powwow?
Round table.
Fire chat?
No, it wasn't a fire. It was like
a town hall.
It's called something. It was one.
Who are you with?
Like a G20 summit?
The commish was in there.
Conference?
The commish
Oh, was it when he came to visit you guys?
No, it was at the draft. This is at the draft when I was making the draft announcement.
Oh, like an Illuminati meeting. That's what you're talking about.
That's what it sounds like.
Only
Circle.
you've been to that. That's what you're trying to make it sound like.
No, it's a.
Was Obama there too?
Candles.
Eyes wide shut.
Don't sleep on Barry O.
There was no presidents there. There was no mass. There was no fuckery. Okay, it was just a discussion.
Sounds like a good time though.
Well, it actually got pretty intense in there.
Was Steve Jobs there?
Steve Jobs. It was only NFL associated people.
Bezos then.
Yeah.
Well, he was not in the NFL at that time, but
Bill Gates.
I don't think he would have been in this one. Anyways, Bill Gates was not there.
Surface Pro.
The Surface. I thought Zito did research on what the name of the meeting was. Turns out he's just talking about pool parties.
Sure.
Steve Ballmer.
He was not there. He was in the NBA. Nonetheless, we can see you guys can keep, thinking of people. I'm assuming they're not going to be there, but maybe in my recollection of the day,
Papa?
it might be different. Snyder was not there or whatever.
DeMaurice Smith.
He was not there either. This was just, that's why it was interesting though. It was like NFL talking to NFL alumni and NFL legends that were doing the draft picks. Troy Vincent was in there. Roger Goodell was in there. I forget who else. And then there was like 20 guys kind of sitting in it was supposed to be like a casual discussion, I think, is how it was supposed to be, like a roundtable discussion almost. Like, hey, let's just talk. And picking where I sat I was by far the youngest person in there and shouldn't have been there. Now, I would go on to do the draft thing that night after Reggie Wayne buries the Titans. I'd go do that. So that day was a wild day for sure. But they were talking about a lot of different issues with retired players and Goodell and how they can do things differently. And, it was like, I want to hear stuff. Taking notes. There was actual notes happening. He had top button unbuttoned.
Oh, casual.
Casual. I think 1 point leg cross.
Wow.
Sitting back like that. Like, since I wasn't really felt comfortable to speak, just doing a lot of listening, watching, and just like, oh, how's this thing going? Slater's dad was in there. Jackie Slater, yep. Jackie Slater was in there. I think he had been in a couple of these before because he was very comfortable. Like in the things he was saying, I was like, okay, sounds like somebody is experiencing something that I might experience 10, 15 years from now, or friends of mine might experience, and he seems to be taken in. Roger seemed to be very responding to it. Troy did some speaking too, very positive. And then there was like an altercation that took place about insurance. Like it got like, there was like a lot of people that were like chiming in on that one. It felt like the meeting was coming to an end, the time we all kind of felt that it was coming to an end. One person brought up the subject of insurance, and then like 3, 4, it became like, and I was like, oh, all right, like a team. It almost felt like, oh, here we go. Like, all right, now This is what we came for almost, it feels like. And Roger Goodell had an incredible answered it, said we're trying to figure it out. But the NFLPA is the one that's kind of taken over the insurance benefits and everything like that. Like they're the ones taking care of the benefits and what they're raising money for, and 5 years insurance for vested players and everything like that. And the NFL is a part of the matching of the 401ks. But the NFLPA, I think, has always been the ones that have been fighting for the insurance and for everything like that. So as that was all going on, and the NFLPA has got a lot on their hands, I mean, I would not want to do that job. I would never do that job. So it's hard for me to completely judge it because I haven't been in there. But outside looking in, they probably fucked up some things. And I spoke up for the first time ever at the end of it, like at the very end of it. I said, don't we think that one of these insurance companies that sponsors the league, which there is plenty, we see their commercials all the goddamn time. If I see Mr. Mayhem, who I'm a big fan of, I'm a big fan of Mayhem. Like, I think he is hilarious. I think those are good concepts. Isn't there some insurance company that we could easily, like, bundle a deal with the NFL to also take care of retired players' insurance for, like, life or whatever? Now, I know that's going to be a big deal, but can't we somehow work that type of deal? Or in the next deal, the next CBA, can't you put something? I feel like this is an easy marketing fix or whatever. And I got the reaction was fantastic. It was, oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a good point. We'll write that down. And then the meeting was over. So now, like now that it's like a couple years later, I would like to revisit that. Like, I think that is,
Are they saying there's too many old, like if they try, like there's too many old players that they instantly have to get lifetime insurance, like all those old guys, and then everyone that continues to, you know, if you're vested and then all of a sudden you're retired or you're out of the league?
Yeah, we're like 15, 20 years, you know, like or 5 years.
I'm with you.
5 years, guys' bodies are still kind of keeping up.
Yeah.
Then, you know, it's almost like it was almost done like as a strategy. Like they have the stats like after 5 years. Like it's almost like that's kind of how it feels, I think, as a, by the way, this is not for me. I'm just talking about for all my friends, basically, that I'm kind of watch go through this. There has to be some insurance that has so much fucking money in the insurance business. Limitless. There has to be some sort of bundle, 10-year, 15-year, just a little bit more. But we're talking about former NFL players, and everybody says they're spoiled anyway. So I just think that is something that could take place in the NFL.
Well, in the same way they have sports books, though, right? Like they have multiple sports books that sponsor the league. Can't they have multiple, like, insurance agencies that can sponsor the league?
Oh, yeah.
They got Flow.
So
they
could
got
they
Mayhem.
do like
State Farm?
Could they do time periods with each different insurance?
Like 10 years, 10 years,
exactly,
10 years.
Yeah. So it's a 30-year total. But
And then
it's
you can
10
get
at a time.
commercials from the guys
who are in that bracket.
for sure. That's easy content to be made too, and it's also like goodwill, right? Isn't it, AJ? I think this is goodwill, taking care of old stars.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty good plan. I just, you know, they're all about money. So if they can find a way to do it and still make their money, they'll do it.
These insurance companies, too. The greediest of the greedy corporate fat cats.
True.
Oh, true.
They don't want a bunch of broken down NFL guys with tons of issues too.
Well, and I assume
Well, that's the problem though. Sometimes it's hard for guys to
know.
find insurance because like some insurance won't take them when it's the only insurance that they can really qualify. It's like a very pick and choose. You need to have it, but also pick and choose. And I'm not getting into an entire insurance discussion, but I'm just talking about for the retired guys, what I have seen happen. I don't know the full conversation enough. I don't know how many people, but if you get vested guys, I mean, there's a number of those guys.
And even the benefits, like the line of duty and the disability stuff, like they make it so difficult for players to get that type of stuff to the point where they have to, like I know friends who have had 8, 9 surgeries, have been on IR multiple times, and they still got to go hire a lawyer and get the benefits and then, you know, pay the lawyer 30, 40 grand after they get it. And it's like, bro, if you played 5 years in the NFL, you should sign a paper, hand it in, and then that should start the process. Because if you played 5 years, if you played 10 years, if you played however long, you've dealt with significant injuries. You know what I mean? So. And
also, you got to go through like multiple doctors, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's almost one of those processes where like you'll win rewards if you do this, do this, do this, do this. And now, granted, do it right. Like, hey, do it. But also, there's a reason that a lot of different companies use that style of thing because normally a lot of people do not have the stamina to go through all of the bullshit to do it. People should, listen, fucking do it. But that's not even talking about just standard insurance. That's all the other stuff that should come alongside of it all.
Well, and I assume when you guys retire, like if they don't have the NFL insurance anymore, the premiums are so high for playing in the NFL that it's like, well, fuck. I mean, you know, if you're not getting an NFL salary anymore, like it might be a lot harder to justify, you know, paying those insane premiums because you did play in the league.
Let's assume, you know, maybe State Farm could do that.
You think?
Progressive.
Yeah. Allstate,
Nationwide.
All of them on your
State
side.
Farm had a great run on this show.
What's that, pal?
State Farm had a good run here, didn't they?
Dude, I actually, right before I said that sentence, I saw the little toolbox
Yeah.
that they gave me right to my, like in my head. I was like, what was that company? And then I looked and I saw the fucking State Farm little toolbox thing that they sent us. They did not enjoy our read.
No.
One show, maybe? 1, 2 shows?
Two.
One.
No, it was two. It was
Really?
one, decided that it was over.
Right.
We'll read this one for him.
Yep.
And in the middle of it announced,
This will be the last
probably
time.
be the last time.
It wasn't really State Farm either. It was like the fucking group, right?
It's the ad agencies, yeah. Which is another full conversation we could have.
Yeah, not.
I'd be pissed if I was State Farm then.
What's that?
You said the ad agency had an issue with the reads, right? Or whatever was going
with
on.
the Bugle Boys.
Yeah, State Farm though doesn't know, dude. This is another whole digital. If we're gonna dive into this conversation, I mean, middle of an incredible Thursday, 1:56 Eastern Standard Time
good.
here. Are you sure? I think it was a good conversation to have because a lot of people are trying to get in here. It's like
You're right.
the businesses that you are selling for rarely know, not rarely. I mean, you can get to a point where you know them, but they have no idea. They're just looking for results from an ad agency, and if the ad agency doesn't get the results, then they'll go to a different ad agency, and the ad agency over here is going to do the same exact way as this, and they're just going to pass companies around basically. And they're the ones that are in charge of how many reads you get, how much you're getting paid for. And in charge is an interesting thing, but they're the ones negotiating and all. They're the ones deciding whether or not it's good or not good. They're writing the read. They're pretty much in control of your part of your show, right? Because they are buying for time in your show. Now, there's been a lot of people in the past that have made their reads a lot better because they're speaking to an audience that they created. It's not a network that has audience already. The people that are reading these commercials are actually the people that built the fucking audience that is there. So, some places are smart and say, hey, make this thing your own. Some places can't do that because they're the smartest people on earth, because they read a book 15 years ago in marketing and advertising that makes it, hey, read this. So that's why some of those bigger companies have yet to really dive into the digital space, because the ad agencies kind of also behind the times, and it doesn't necessarily work as well, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. A lot of power these ad agencies have, though. Like if all these monster corporations trust them, you got to trust that this ad agency knows, like they know exactly where they're going to market what your product is. Like, that's the thing, though. If you're an ad agency and you're going to bring on a sponsor to a show, you would think you've watched a few hours of that show, right? And
No
you have an
way.
idea of what it is?
No way. They just see the number. They see the number of whatever they think, whatever. Somehow, however they find out. Very rarely is there any research actually done. Now, I don't want to say never, because I think there is probably good people in the ad agencies.
There's got to be some young interns. They're like, hey, let me help you with this. If you're doing it for this show, someone's like a fan of whatever show they may be going to.
Exactly. I think some are good. I think there's some places that are probably good. With that being said, majority are not. Majority are very terrible. But yeah, I think there is some research done by in some companies. But if you're getting into the digital space, dealing with the ad agencies is a necessity at the beginning of your career, because you're going to have it, you're going to have to do it, or you're with a company that's dealing with it. Like, it was very nice to kind of see how that thing worked whenever we were with the Barstool folks, like watching how that whole thing pans out. Like, Barstool was an academy, a university of the internet, which is what the plan was all along. It ended a little shorter than I think we all thought it was going to go. And congrats to Bussin' with the Boys signing another 2 years. I got nothing but love for the folks over there. Now, granted, we do things differently than they do, both on air and off air, but getting to learn from them is a very, very good thing. But those ad agencies are they can be a real kick in the dick, because you start thinking that you're performing for these people. You're not. These people stink. Remember that. These people stink. Now, always put over the business that is investing in your show. I think you should put them over more than they pay you for. You should be very thankful for them giving you an opportunity. You should always make them look as good as possible because they're investing in you. You should try their product. You should know the product. It makes you just better with all that. But also, with that being said, ad agencies that don't let people do things in their own voice are essentially trying to buy radio ads.
Right.
And those don't work.
No.
in podcast. It's just not something that works in digital ever. Yeah.
No, they don't understand that if you just let people do their own thing and they come up with it organically, then they're going to put the product over way more than they would have if you're just reading some cookie cutter bullshit 30-second spot where it's like, hey, let's just get through this and then we'll move on.
But to be clear, at the beginning, you can't act like that.
No.
You got to be who you can afford to be.
Right.
You got to be who you can afford to
Get
be.
there.
You got to play the game. You got to play the game a little bit. Sometimes you got to, that's why SeatGeek's been so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Ticket Stooge,
The best.
legend.
Yeah.
Ian taught us a lot, man. Ian from SeatGeek, he taught us a lot. That guy, he had a big brain earlier than everybody else. And his big brain was like, what do you want to say? Sounds good by us. Yeah, that's good.
Whatever you want.
And he does that with everybody, because he was a younger ad agent, basically. And he had it figured out.
Did he lose his fastball and not having a promo code for Baby SeatGeek?
It is.
Baby.
He is famous now, though.
True.
He does. He has his own podcast, this guy.
Yeah.
Ian from
Talks
Ticket
a
Stooge.
heavy
has his
hitter.
own-
Follow him on Twitter. Follow each other
about?
on Twitter.
Yeah. Ian Borthwick. What's that, pal?
What's this podcast about?
Business.
Come
sport.
on, dude.
Business.
Influencer marketing.
What do you think? He's the authority on influencer marketing, as he should be.
Does he have Gary Vee on as a guest?
I do
Or
wonder what
mentor?
Ian's thoughts are on Gary Vee.
Best in the biz.
Probably loves him.
Yeah, changing the game every day.
Are they competition? No.
Who?
Ian,
Does Gary Vee have any competition?
No, he doesn't.
no,
have
you're right.
competition.
Because he's competing with.
Himself.
Yeah.
You guys need to fucking relax, by the way.
What are you talking about?
Who? Jets keep winning. You guys are going to see more Gary Vee on this program, and I hope you're all happy.
Like if
about
Gary thought he had competitors, or if he treated people as competitors, Amical Aardvark would fucking slap him right in the mouth. So that's
right.
just not something we can have.
Genuine gorilla wouldn't let him.
No.
Be.
it. All right, let's
What
get
is
to our
this?
break. Okay, this is our. I just got a text message. Let's go to the break. Let's take 5, and then we'll call Kirk Herbstreit.
Okay.
Kirk has a very busy day, obviously. He texted me like 10 minutes ago and said, I'm free at this time to this time. That's great news. We passed the time with some digital marketing conversation.
Oh yeah.
Look at us. Huh? Did we change the world today or not?
Probably.
Maybe.
Well, we're a well-rounded program over here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're big business conversations over here. Big sport. Oh,
Right.
politics in the next hour.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, dude. Get us out.
We'll get Kirk. Get him going.
Absolutely. Absolutely get Kirk Herbstreit into it. All right, here we go. Hour 2 has wrapped. Before we take 5 and enter hour 3, which is going to be fantastic with Kirk Herbstreit, here in about 5 minutes as Jabba, our robot, finds
You shooting this?
its way. No, this is you. This
Come
is
on,
you. Yeah.
D-Bud.
What do you think?
If D-Butt makes this shot from the stage, we will give 10 people who retweet this video and say something nice to somebody in a reply and add their cash tag into that same tweet as well. $500 randomly. We got Jabba playing some D with a great 4K shot with AJ drinking an Essentia water in the back.
What?
Darius Butler with a backwards Florida Marlins cap.
Huh?
In hour 1, he bricked his second shot.
Yep.
Bad.
It was not bad. It was
Close.
It was a great shot.
Look good from here.
AJ, anything to say to D-Bud here before he attempts to huck this ball?
I have full confidence that D-Butt will drain the first one.
Hey, let's
Come on,
Where'd you
D-Bud.
go?
Hey, you see that? You see that?
Nope.
What's that say?
Let's see.
Can't see it.
Let's ride.
Oh man, you're on Broncos
Oh, we
today.
don't want that.
No.
Oh.
This is not about the Broncos. This is not about the Broncos.
Are you okay?
Big thanks to the Broncos. Definitely let's ride. Other
Super
games.
Bowls?
Bronco
You got
is
Super
the
Bowls tonight?
superior horse.
Let's ride into 10 people winning $500.
Let's do
Say
it.
that, Diggs.
Yeah, they are.
You're going to have to move that thing, I think. There we go.
Well,
That thing is sweet.
Come on, D-Bud.
Oh, robot, bro.
Love you, Jabba.
Yes, bank. What?
Called it.
Woo! Kirk Herbstreit in 5 minutes.
Let's go, Kirk.
Be a friend,
No
tell
one's
a friend.
surprised.
Retweet this video and 10 random people that say something nice to somebody and put their cash tag in the reply will win $500 because Darius Butler is such a freak show athlete.
Oh, yeah.
No surprise at all, AJ, huh?
No, I called it. I knew he'd hit it.
Thank you, AJ.
Hell yeah. Take 5.
We always hear people talk about these masterful halftime adjustments that are made. Is that a thing? And how did you feel in the second half compared to the first?
Did you flip a dry erase board or anything?
A lot of halftime adjustments. Look, I mean, the first two plays coming out the half, we had incomplete. We're sitting there 3rd and 10, down by 3, really sputtering. And I think there were 2 big plays that happened in the game. The first one was on that 3rd and 10 at 10-7. I hit Allen down the right sideline. He made a fantastic catch. The ball was a little bit lower. He was kind of pushed to the sideline. He jumps on top at the last second and makes a kind of diving catch in front of him. And sometimes it just takes one play like that to get you going. Now we're not on the 25 anymore. Now we're on midfield. We turned that drive into a touchdown to Tunyon after a penalty. That got us going. Come right back down. They score. We're down 17-14. What do? We respond. We drive down the field. Mason drills a field goal before the end of the fourth quarter. Now we're sitting 17-17. What happens? They drive right back down, score another touchdown, sitting there 24-17, and then I turn to Josh. I said, we're not losing this game. We're right down the field. Had another nice touchdown. Romeo back shoulder ball. Or in the other second play, 24-17, we're down. It's 3rd and 6. Caboli runs a great route. I kind of slide left slightly. Dave did a good job kind of pinning this guy inside, and we kind of passed off the twitch pretty good. But I put a ball in a good spot. Randall ran a great route on kind of a sail, we call it, where you kind of bend in and then back towards the sideline. That got us going. 2 of the biggest plays of the game.
Hello, beautiful people. This is college football prime time with the Pat McAfee Show. I had no idea if we were live or not. We'll be raising money for every interception, every first down, every point scored. We'll be donating money to school-affiliated foundations. And here comes Dabo.
Here we go, Dabo.
Let's go, Dabo.
Come on, Dad.
Let's go. Let's go, boys. All right, we'll donate 1,000 to Clemson just because Dabo looked awesome at the top.
Good start.
Look at him go. What was it, heads or tails? Do we know?
No.
None of us paid attention. I was talking right through it. Bad start. So Fagan ain't faking when he hides. If AJ can drive one of these 3 golf balls over 320 yards, we will triple that to $12,000.
Yes.
Jeez.
That might be the one.
318. Oh,
okay.
Need another one. Dabo's all in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Right. We will donate $12,000. Darius Butler will be attempting a triple shot from the stage. D-But, let's go. This is for $9,000. Oh, big return there for Clemson. We're about to go to commercial break. Let's go! Come on, man! $9,000 donation to the Jimmy V Foundation, $3,000, and it was tripled because Darius Butler is ice cold from the state. This would make it a $6,000 donation if Bruce can make one of these NBA threes in 2 attempts.
Cash.
Oh. This is it. Come on! Let's go!
Okay.
He stayed on drive. That's okay. That's how we do it.
Always good to have the ref for you. Oh, make a play. Pick. Oh. All right. Yep. Oh, late. Do it.
Well, look
at him. He's on their side. I like it.
Hey, he just ate 4 chairs.
Yeah.
That's a light hit. That's a light hit.
Oh, no, he's not.
No, yeah, that's
good call.
Good call, man.
I mean, kinda. Hey, we're on the big screen. Look at us. We're on ESPN2 right now, big screen. Hey, thanks for having us in your house right now. Honestly, didn't always know where I was going to carry. She is not happy. I mean, is she in the game?
She wants to blow out.
We were told we're not allowed to say it. I think she said the F dash word.
And that's fudging horse crud.
The main reason I went back for my senior year is I wanted to get out of the red. I was negative 220 yards going into my senior year. I said, forget being the first pick, forget playing for the Jets. I want to go back and get the positive in rushing yards, and it simply did not happen. They got finished with negative 400.
And turn around.
God.
15.
taunting. Hey, Coach Lou Holtz can't do that, huh?
That was a dirty play a little bit, but I have a little bit of money on Clemson. I want it. Let the boys play.
If D-Buck goes 3 of 5 from NBA 3, we will tack on another 15,000 to make this a even matchup apiece. All right, that was practice.
Good. There we go.
Ooh, there's one.
Uh-oh.
All right, he's 1 of 2.
He got 3 in a row.
Uh-oh, that's off. Fuck. He's 1 of 3. You can hit these last 2. Yep. Hit these last 2.
Yeah. Here we go.
For 15 grand donated.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you, Omaha.
That's going to Jimmy V.
Omaha.
How much is that? It's going to Jimmy V, right?
Yeah, talking about 9. Boom.
9,000.
Hey, good shot. Good shot there.
Hey, sorry I had to great.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Thursday Night Football on Prime Time, Thursday, October 6th, 2022. Hour 3 starts now.
Football!
He's all the way back. NFL Week 5 kicks off this evening in Mile High, Denver, Colorado, as the Indianapolis Colts travel to take on the Let's Ride Broncos. To my left, you're right, a man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor.
Thank God.
4 or 5 times.
Yep.
Sheesh.
4 or 5 times, this guy.
Most of all time.
You took that many tests?
This guy's fingers are bent all over the place, so he creates big web fingers.
Sure.
So when one niner was flying through the air, it wasn't just like, any type of aerodynamics. The fingers were picking up COVID.
Yeah.
The pinky was picking up 19. The thumb was picking up Delta. He survived them all, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall.
Yeah.
How you doing, AJ?
Great to be here. Accurate representation of how my whole process has gone.
Absolutely. Knew it.
Well, that's what we do here. This is journalism. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Yesterday was Sirianni, fantastic. Lou Holtz, obviously amazing. What a fucking run, pal. You should be pumped. One half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here on the stage every single week, every Wednesday and Thursday. Host of the Man to Man podcast. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler. And let's dive right into it here on this glorious Thursday Night Football, Thursday, October 6th. Hour 3. There's a delay game.
Okay. Damn. 5-yard penalty.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who'll be on the call this evening alongside Al Michaels and Kaylee Hartung. He will be live on Amazon Prime, not only in a standard type game, but also in a Prime Vision with stats and names all over the screen. Then you'll see him on College Game Day Saturday morning. Then Saturday night, you'll see him in college football prime time. Ladies and gentlemen, the face and authority of college football and Thursday nights alongside Al Michael, Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah!
What's up, dude?
How we doing? How we doing, guys?
Hey, thanks for making time for us. We know you're very busy on this day, and you're about to get into a very busy part of your week, so I appreciate you taking time to call in. You're the man. First of all, hey, we're going to Kansas this Saturday. Let's enjoy the hell out of that, huh, Irby?
Yeah, that'll be wild. I'm actually, last Friday you and I were hanging out, just talking about the show and different things. You saw me kind of looking over at my iPad, watching the live streaming out of Louisville, and Shay's going to make his first start as a sophomore. AJ gets this at St. X. They're playing LaSalle, and he's starting. So I got to go tonight, call this game, over to Lawrence to see you, meetings, tape a show, over to Cincinnati, watch Chase, then back to Lawrence, and then up to East Lansing after game day.
Hey, here we go, huh?
Wow. Yeah.
It was cool to see you be dad there. Obviously, with Jake on the road, we know Jake here. He was an intern for us. He started out real bad, real bad. I mean, one of the worst, interns in the history of interning of all time. Took 17 days off at one point. But the last 2 months he was working with us in the middle of his college summer, He was awesome.
Yeah.
One of the hardest workers I've ever seen. No, not that awesome. Actually incredible. Actually incredible. Worked his ass off, learned quickly. He's been on the road working alongside of you. I love seeing that. I also loved getting a chance to watch you be a dad, watch your kid play. Because we're just chit-chatting, trying to learn about each other in the game and everything like that as we're taking on this season. And I'm very lucky to do it with Kirk weekly alongside him on game day. He's a legend. But him watching his kid play. First half, the team, what St. X is the name of the school that your kid's on?
Yeah. Yep.
First half, okay? His kid's a backup quarterback. This team stinks, St. X, okay? And listen, high school kids shouldn't be saying that, but whatever they were doing, they were not playing well. And Kirk was being super positive, pulling for the guy, but every once in a while, mid-conversation, I'd see him just like stare at his iPad, kind of get lost, and then he'd come back. I'm like, what's happening in the game? He's like, our boys are getting beat a little bit. I don't think we've had a first down yet or whatever. I'm like, your kid's a backup quarterback? And he's like, yeah, he got to play a little bit last week or whatever. I'm like, put the fucking kid in the game. You got a Herbstreit, put the kid in the game. And he was like, you were very much like, no. Like, that's like, listen, my kid's got to earn it. Like, he's getting to learn a lot about blue-collar Kirk here. And I think it's all in his book, too. Like, this is a fucking good dude. But when your kid got a chance to go in the game, watching you, hey, he started, we're talking pacing around the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking like it's a big fucking, I'm pumped for you, man. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your kid. Your travel schedule sounds terrible. It's been awesome getting to know you. Now let's talk about it, though. Tonight, Thursday Night Football in Denver. Thin air, you going to be all right up there? You doing any training for the altitude at all, Kirk? And how's the vibes?
I'm trying, man. Plus, I'm pulling a head cold here, so I may do my best to survive. Yeah.
Kirk, it's week 5. Kirk, we can't have that right now. Oh no.
I know. So I'm gonna, hopefully there'll be an elevator to get me up to the press box and not stairs. But I'm fired up to watch this game. You know what's great about this game is, the last few weeks we've had high-profile players, high-profile games. I remember looking at this game in August and thinking, you go through the whole schedule and I'm like, man, I'm looking forward to Indy. Going to Denver, we got Matt Ryan, we got Russ, and those teams should be humming by then. And now here we are, and both teams are still trying to figure things out. It's almost like they're looking in a mirror at one another because you have these high-profile quarterbacks. Both offensive lines are struggling. The continuity just isn't there. I think both quarterbacks are still learning their receivers, so we're used to them just executing flawlessly, and now they're kind of unsure and they're holding the ball a little bit. The Colts are I know you guys follow them. They're trying to find a running game, and now JT's not playing.
Well,
so
Colts need a lot.
I don't know, man. There's a lot. I'm excited to see who finds their rhythm tonight. There's a lot on the line for both these teams, even though it's early in the year.
We think so too. Go ahead, AJ.
Kirk, what do you expect to see from Denver's offense? We know Russ, it's kind of been like a bit of a weird year so far, up and down. I would imagine this would be a great coming out party for Russ and the head coach Hackett to kind of put it all together for 4 quarters.
Hackett we visited with yesterday. He brought something up that's really interesting. And he talked about when he initially went over to Green Bay to work with Aaron. There was a kind of that honeymoon period where they were just trying to find their rhythm with what they were doing with LaFleur and Aaron and what Hackett brought in. Everybody had a little bit of a different thing, and it took them some time. Actually, in the next year is where they really started to take off and kind of find their system. And now here they are with Russ, who's been doing his thing in Seattle all these years. Hackett's bringing in what they've been doing in Green Bay, so they're still trying to find the system. So, AJ, you can appreciate this. Not only is your quarterback trying to find that rhythm with the receivers, but Russ is he's got DK that he can always when in doubt, you can just throw it to DK.
Yeah.
And they don't have that now. You got receivers he doesn't quite know and a system that he's not quite comfortable with. And so I think it's a work in progress right now, and I think we'll find out if they can get it going. I don't think it's just a coming out party right now. This is an offense that's just going to have to get first downs, run the football. They're dead last in the league in red zone. And so Gus Bradley's going to say, we're going to keep everybody back. None of those beautiful Russell Wilson bombs, those moonshots. Make them drive the ball and then execute in the red zone, which they've not been able to do all year. So I don't know, man. I don't know if this is a night where it's going to be a coming out party at all.
So the under sounds like.
Yeah.
I actually love everything you just said right there.
Yeah.
I think you just told us that that's the play. We should think about that as we go forward. Interesting to think about the concept, though, of yesterday we had Michael Lombardi on, who everybody knows in football because he's been around for so long. And he said, Russ is a short order cook. Yeah, that's what he said. They said, let him cook. It's a short order cook or whatever. That could potentially be because he's not as comfortable in this offense as he was. When you're cooking in the Seattle offense, whatever it was, if he had some familiarity with it, he knows when he can go off script, where he can go, who's going to be where. So the more he can get comfortable with where he's at, probably the better is how Denver's thinking, and that's why it's going to be a little bit of time before it gets better. But there's no hope lost, right? In Denver, they feel like they are going to be able to figure it out and get going, yeah?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think they think that it's going to work itself out, but they're just in the process, and they're not working it out in camp. They're working it out week 5, right in front of everybody. So, if you go back, though, and look over the history of some of these quarterbacks and when they make this transition, the difference with Stafford and what he did, Brady or what these guys have done is they were the only change. What Stafford was doing, he goes with the Rams, they already have their system. It's already been established. He needs to come in and kind of it's turnkey. Here, you're breaking in, you had a new owner, you got a new head coach, new play caller, new system. Russ is coming in, learning all these new pieces and a new system. So it takes time to find that continuity and the rhythm. Once they do, I think they're very, very excited about the future and the potential of what this offense can do this year. They get a win tonight.
Huge.
That could kind of springboard them into finding some rhythm and getting some confidence. Because right now, it's like they're just kind of stuck. As their offensive coordinator says, we're kind of stuck in mud, just trying to get this thing going. But once it gets going, it'll be a thing of beauty.
I saw that with Andrew Luck. We drafted Andrew Luck. He wasn't there for the first few OTAs. He was sent the playbook on an iPad because he had to graduate as an architectural engineer or something. An architectural engineer, probably early, probably at the top of his class, if I had to guess. Had to graduate, so he missed like the first 4 weeks of OTAs or whatever with on-field stuff, so backup quarterbacks are running it. His first day there, everybody's still learning the offense. His first day there, he makes a check to something in a walkthrough. And nobody on the team had a clue what the fuck he said. Everybody just turned around. BA had to stop it. And he's like, we haven't got there yet. We haven't got there yet in practice or whatever. So everybody immediately was like, oh, Andrew Luck is a super as advertised. Yeah. And also, this is going to be a process because rookie quarterback can normally lean on an older guy that's been in the system. Hey, whenever this happens, what have we done in the past? Now it's nobody fucking knows. No, and now everybody's learning together. That is a big point that I don't think we have talked about much. Yes. The only thing we said is they are boring to fucking watch. Yeah. And it's for good reason because none of them have a clue what the fuck they're doing.
Think about this like as small a thing as the cadence. Russ, I guess, prides himself. In college football, we don't have this whole cadence thing. AJ knows in the NFL, you guys know, these quarterbacks, advanced quarterbacks, it is a big part of their game.
That's college.
And his own offensive line isn't comfortable with his cadence. They have more penalties than anybody in the NFL. And a lot of it has to do with false starts, holding calls. His own linemen are like, hut, and they're just like, whoop. They don't have the rhythm yet down to what he's doing. So a little thing like that tells you how they're still kind of a work in progress right now.
Well, the Colts are as well, and they got a lot of continuity, allegedly, except for one position. They got their own problems. Darius, your question for Kirk Herbstreit.
Hey, what's up, Kirk? You and Al been absolutely crushing it. My question for you is, what's the biggest difference or adjustment between calling college games and calling the NFL games? And what's been your favorite moment thus far in this early part of the season with Thursday Night Football?
Microphone quit.
Hey, man, I really appreciate that. And love watching you break down the studio stuff. I love learning all that stuff that you have an opportunity to do. And by the way, I know you know Sertan, but I know there's always a debate about who the top corner in the game is, and everybody has their guy. Man, this guy is as good as I think there is right now in the league. And he's a big guy. He's instinctive, has great eyes. I can't wait to watch him tonight match up. We saw what he could do last week against Adams, but to me, the grind for me, calling a game is calling a game, but the prep. I'm not. I said earlier to somebody today, I'm not Troy Aikman. I didn't win 3 Super Bowls. I didn't win a Heisman. Even in college, I always looked at myself as I got to prove myself kind of guy. I got to grind and study and be prepared, be the most prepared guy, and that's kind of the brand that I created in college. And so when I go into NFL, it's kind of the same approach. I want to, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and even right now, Thursday afternoon, it is just everything I got into my preparation. And so when I do that, I found that the game is the game. You know, you're just kind of breaking the game down. But without that prep, I don't know what I would do. And I've just been so appreciative that the coordinators, the players, all these guys have been so good in my meetings and just opening up and talking to me about what's real. And that really helps me to be able to be comfortable. And then it's just about developing chemistry with Al and I, like just like what we're doing with Pat on game day and you guys doing your show. Developing chemistry is such a big part of what you do on any show. And so that's the part that I've been really focused on, is just staying out, you know, giving Al his room and being respectful of that, and then just talking football, you know, and enjoying the hell out of it.
Al hates you? Yeah? What? Al hates you? Is that what happens? No.
No, he loves you.
Oh! I'm saying everybody loves you, though, Kirk. That's what you need to know. I'm very lucky to get to work alongside you, and you're great, because whenever I'm in there, and obviously college football has been your world for like 20 years. You've been the face of it, literally, from when the video game was happening to no video game to the video game coming back. You have been the face of this whole thing. So it's always a nice, comforting feeling that when I say something, then I got... All right, Kirk's next. I hear it in my ear. Kirk's going. I'm like, okay, here we go. Thank God. All right, Kirk's coming in here after me, and you're going to pull me out of the deep end wherever I went. Or if I said something, you're going to be like, yeah, Cavassier smoked, definitely a good guy. They're getting Chris Rodriguez back as well, which I had no idea about, obviously, in the moment. I'm learning as you're talking, and I'm like, thank God Herbie is here. And I think Al and you are probably the two people that everybody says that about. You know, like, thank God Al Michaels is here. Thank God Herbstreit's here. So I think as soon as we saw that you two were going to be paired, it was like, oh, here's the fucking best booth in the NFL probably in a year or so. So we're all excited for you, and we're happy that you're enjoying the hell out of it. And he does prep like a madman. These notes that I saw this motherfucker had.
Jeez.
I had never seen. I walked in, he just had it was just cards on cards on cards. I'm like, did you write all that? Who? That's all actual handwriting?
Well, you know what's funny is you know, you write all these, like here's my board right now for this game that I'm about to call.
Yeah, dude. That's just one game. That's one game.
You know, and you write this stuff down, and then you end up, you don't even really look at it. You know, it's like, it's weird. It's like if you were studying for a final in college, and not that I ever did that, but you would study like 100% of it, and then you maybe need 10% of it for the actual test itself. That's kind of like what it's like to do, whether it's game day, a 3-hour studio show, or call it a Saturday night game. We're doing these Thursday night games. You over prepare, and then you use, you know, just a very small amount of the research that you do. But if that's what it takes to get you comfortable to go on air, then that's what you got to do.
Hey, you're doing it great.
Oh yeah,
you're doing great. You're doing it great. Go ahead, AJ.
Well, you're doing great on game day, man. We got to. Are you enjoying it?
Dude, I said the wrong school was playing the wrong school last week. You saved me on that one. You said, you mean Mississippi State. I just did the Woo Pig Suey thing. I was like, they played them last week. Damn. My brain did a little thing. You're like, you mean Mississippi State? I'm like, yeah, they won, by the way. Okay, they going to win. I had the team name wrong, knew what was going to happen, knew the outcome. Said the guy's name wrong 4 or 5 times already. Probably the reason, you know, why I'm happy to go to Kansas, so I can apologize to that coach for saying his name wrong, which I'm still not 100% sure which one, Lee or Lie. I don't know. I think Lie, but nonetheless, there's little things like that where I'm just completely lost on set. I think your fans realize it, but I'm having a fucking blast. I'm having an absolute blast.
Dude, I think our fans love that that's not an easy thing to do in any studio show that's been going on, you know, for so long. And then to just come in, and I feel like it's been just a seamless transition for you. It feels like you've been doing it.
Yeah.
No, honestly, man. And I think, and I've told you this before, I think people saw you jump off of a boat and thought, oh, he's a funny guy and all that, which obviously you're very entertaining. But I think people are seeing that you know about the game. You know, as much as you're like, I don't know anything about college football. It's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So, you know, that's a cool act. But you obviously know a lot about the game, and I think that's the thing that I think people have been blown away by is how you're breaking it down, man. You're a great teammate, and I think when you do studio television and you do your show, it's about being a great teammate. You know, no different than playing football. You know, and I think when you have great teammates, it's easy to make a good studio show.
Well, I'm lucky to be on your team, pal. And the reason why I'm smarter is because I get to chat with people like this dude from Ohio every fucking day. Hey, Jay, what do you have for Kirk, pal?
Kirk, it's going
I
off.
Appreciate those kinds words, though. Thank you. Sorry.
Sure.
Yes, very nice. You guys, the show is great. I think everyone enjoys it, and Pat brings a bunch of juice to the stage. And I think Kirk, obviously, you do an unbelievable job with the knowledge you have of college football and the NFL as a joke. But speaking of teammates, obviously you've been great, have a great rapport with all of your play-by-play people that you've worked with. Like, not for you, but for somebody else, how would it be trying to call a game, like you got the color commentator and a play-by-play person, if those two people hated each other and genuinely did not get along?
Hey, that has
that
happened.
Would be a tough thing, I would imagine.
Hey, AJ, that has happened before, hasn't it?
That
AJ?
happens a lot, I think. It happens a lot more than we know, but from watching on TV, a lot of times we can't tell.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not trying to call anybody out. You don't need to call anybody out, but I'm saying that's
say your name, Kirk.
Who hates each other?
Who do you hate? No, say who have you heard? Which booths hate each other? Have you heard the booths?
Back in the day, I'm
no.
sure.
Okay. Good.
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about that at all. But I do know that chemistry is such a part of it. My experience has been Mike Tirico.
What?
I worked with Brent Musburger.
What?
I worked with Chris Fowler.
What?
Yeah. And now I'm working with Al Michaels. I mean, those are those are the 4 guys that I worked with, and so I've been really, really, really fortunate. But yeah, man, it's a great question, AJ. I guess it's no different than if you play on a team and you got a linebacker next to you who you don't get along with, but you guys have the same goal at the end of the day to get a 3 and out. Get them off the field. It's all about ball. It's all about whatever it takes to win. And after the game, you're probably not going to talk to that person or hang out with them. But for those 60 minutes, you're balling. And I think that's probably the same, in what we do. I don't have a ton of experience with that, but I do know that when it's clicking, like when guys, and you can tell, Pat, on Friday meetings, I mean, it's like romper room. I mean, we're hanging out, we're laughing, we're self-deprecating, everyone's ripping on each other. And I think when you have that, like you guys clearly have, then I think it transfers onto on air. And then I think that makes the best TV.
That's good. We all hate each other. That's right. You know what I mean? But those production meetings have been awesome to sit in on. First of all, I know what's going to happen in the show. That's good news. Because back in the day, last college game day experience, I had no idea what was coming ever.
And you got a rundown last week, which was a huge step for you. The actual piece of paper that tells you what's coming up next.
Yeah, it's good to know what's coming up
awesome.
next. Yeah,
that was awesome by you. That was good.
There was the first couple weeks there where we're running a feature, some sort of commercial, and everybody is kind of getting in their places, doing their thing. And I'm like, what is next? What are we?
Hey, Kirk, what's going on here next? What do we got here next?
Have we talked?
How about the features, by the way? Huh?
Jen Latta, this last one, I was bawling my eyes out, dude. And then Gene had me 2 weeks ago with the Michigan tight end. I was crying my fucking eyes out.
The features are what make. I mean, it's just such a mixed bag on game day. I don't know who's sitting around watching the whole show, but of course you talk football and you break it down. But man, the features and try to have some fun along the way. I think that's probably what makes game day. But those features are powerful and so good.
The team is awesome over there. They've been very cool to me, and I've been very appreciative. Can't wait to get to Lawrence, Kansas. Connor has a question for you, Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk, you're in about 8 to 10 different time zones every week. Do you stay on Eastern time zone? And also, what did you get to dinner on Jeff Bezos' tab? Did you just get the most expensive thing?
No. I sat at the kids' table that night. I just I wasn't invited to the big people's table. No, I definitely stay on East Coast time. That helps me. And yeah, you're right. These different time zones, especially when you're flying in for 3 or 4 hours, then you're out. It obviously helps you to kind of try to stay consistent. But no, man, I wish I was more of a go out to dinner guy. I used to be. I have zero time right now with doing these 3 games. The game and game day and everything else. We went to dinner a couple times.
Yeah.
With Pat, but it's just those are the when AJ played. I think those are the days when I'd be able to go out and have a little bit of fun.
Well, now you're, an international superstar.
Yeah, Kirk. Fucking
now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, now you're not just from Ohio. You're not just an Ohio fuck anymore.
No.
Now you are the face of the program that brought the most signups in a one-day history in Amazon's fucking history.
Biggest company
Hey, baby, Herbie.
Hey, can I get some Lou Holtz just for fun to kick this weekend off right?
Well, listen, Kirk, you know I love you. You guys are going to Kansas this weekend. I enjoy it because you'll probably never fucking go back.
Whoa, they're building something.
Well, they're building something, but guess what happens? You go to a place like that, you build something, and then he's going to get the fuck out of there as soon as he can. He's going to go to Nebraska. He's going to go to an SEC school. But, hey, he may go to Notre Dame. I'm still not sold on Marcus Freeman. I love you, pal, but... we're not fucking, striking up the band for beating North Carolina, okay? So we'll see what they do when they play USC down the road. But, Kirk, love you very much. I wish you would have played quarterback for me. I know you're an Ohio guy. You always had dreams and aspirations of going to Ohio State. That's good and grand, but you would have been a great Golden Domer, buddy. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. That is too good. That's dead on.
Thank you.
It's unbelievable, dude. Did you hear him yesterday with Sirianni?
Every word.
He was right next to Sirianni. Dude, he was side by side with Sirianni. I thought I was watching a movie. It was real life.
That's incredible. How many hours did you practice that? It must have just been your thing back when he was a coach.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you realize you can do it, and then you can kind of just slip in and slip out. I've been doing it for a long time, though.
How long?
Since like 6th grade, probably. So at this point, around like 15,
Normal
20 years.
Grader.
This guy's put 10,000 hours in his Lou
Yeah.
Holtz. That's how you match this. This guy's done it. You're putting in 10,000 miles every single week. We appreciate you so much. We know you're very busy. How do you see? No, you don't do predictions.
Not allowed.
Not allowed to do predictions.
Can't do 'em.
But
we can't wait to watch it. We can't wait to watch it.
Under.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit.
Hey, Kirk.
He's the man, dude. Darius had to get up and get out. He's traveling. It's always an interesting 2 o'clock hour when D-But's going to bounce out. I appreciate him sticking around 2 days, man, out here. It's not easy to get people to travel to Indiana, believe it or not. So the fact that D-But does it, I'm very thankful and appreciative of it.
Yeah, he has to go to Philly right after, too.
Yeah, go do NFL matchups for ESPN.
Yeah. With South Antonio.
And Greg Cosell.
Good crew.
Okay, let's take 5.
Okay.
On the other side, we're going to wrap up the show with our predictions.
Here we go.
My top plays starting tomorrow. No, Monday.
Hell yeah. Okay.
New series.
Sounds good.
I'm going to keep an eye out for him.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
It's going to start on Monday. Favorite things that happened.
Okay.
Tweet me them, please.
Yeah.
Tweet me concepts.
Tweet me my favorite thing.
A couple ideas.
Hashtag Pat's Plays.
Tweet me. I didn't even know, Enos Benjamin kicked off for the Cardinals, made the tackle.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that happened until somebody tweeted it to me. I'm like, thank you for the heads up.
Yeah, holy shit.
Should have given him more love. If I was doing what my favorite plays were, that would have happened.
Yep.
So during Sunday, if you get the urge to see something that would probably be my favorite, well, we know what my favorite play is. Doesn't just have to be a punt, but if something spectacular happens, something absurd, those are my favorite plays.
Yeah.
Would love those to be sent.
You get a bunch of good holds on extra points. Oh, look how this guy spun the ball. Get the laces out.
Listen, if it's a perfect all laces out day by the long snappers around the NFL, we will have to talk about that.
Hell yeah.
It's not an easy task. A lot of guys throwing laces these days. A lot of bad football too, Tom Brady saying.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom. At practice you saying that?
No. Around the league.
Oh.
Tom Brady spoke out about what the league's football parity situation looks like from his view. We got a picks for tonight. We got a parlay or a super boost, depending upon what's been confirmed or okayed, from FanDuel, from AJ Hawk to go over, predictions, and so much more. Go ahead and take 5. D-Bud made the last one.
He did.
We're
Yeah,
good.
he did.
Yep.
See you in 5. Take 5.
Bye.
Allen shows up way more than just in the measurable stat sheet, though. One point to always remember about him, he's very valuable in a bunch of different ways. He's such a smart player and an excellent blocker. And I would say that about Sammy and Randall as well. Those guys really, really block well. There's some big-time blocks by all those guys. And then even on the screen on 2nd and 28 to Romeo, Allen and Randall out there, big-time blocks. Josh Neishman was down there with a block. And we're really, one block away from a 2nd and 28, 50 50-yard touchdown on a screen pass because of the effort of those guys. So.
2nd and 28. So to the edge it goes, and Romeo Doubs sifting through Doubs.
Just reading this headline here that's written on this piece of paper by Boston Connor this morning.
What's up?
Lou Holtz sent Brian Kelly several letters over his Notre Dame tenure to no response.
Yep.
This must have slipped through the cracks in the group text. Sports Illustrated is reporting, while talking to reporters this past week, Lou Holtz shared that while Brian Kelly was at the helm, he wrote him several letters over his tenure as coach. Unfortunately, Holtz said he never got a response. So, obviously we got to go.
Well. Looks like I wasn't fibbing when I said that Brian Kelly was a big old piece of shit. He writes this guy letters and try to tell him, hey, this is exactly what you need to do if you want to be a successful coach at Notre Dame. Okay, he didn't fucking respond to me once. You know how long it takes me to write these goddamn handwritten letters? I'm not typing them on a Macintosh. I'm not typing them on the Dell. I'm dipping my ink in the quill, and I'm writing these handwritten letters. And what does he do? He says, hey, you know what, Lou? I won't write you a letter, but I'll send some kid into a cherry picker with 85-mile-an-hour winds, and I'll kill him. And then guess what? I still won't write you a letter back. He can apologize, but it doesn't matter because Notre Dame's in the right spot. We got Marcus Freeman with 17-point underdogs at Ohio State. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Kelly gets run out of LSU because before too long, the boosters down there are going to find out what I found out. And that's that he's a big old steaming bag of shit.
Coach, isn't it a chance that you with those handwritten letters that he never got them? He was just checking his email?
No, you kidding me? If I fucking write a letter, it's getting on the head coach's desk, okay? You think Charlie Weiss ever got my handwritten letters and Tyrone Willingham? Those guys always wrote back to me. Always.
Oh, shit. Probably just put bacon in those letters.
Thank you, Coach.
That's your buddy Brady Quinn, okay? He knows I wrote a letter before every single Notre Dame home game. Had it in his locker.
What did you say about the game where you're taking on your future brother-in-law, A.J. Hawk?
Well, I said, good luck, Brady. Hopefully you play like a guy like Carlisle Holiday. I'm sure you remember him. He was a great quarterback at Notre Dame. Led them to a lot of success. Of course, you know, Brady, unfortunately, they had good seasons, and they got their asses beaten every single big post-game bowl. And we all remember the LSU Sugar Bowl where that Marcus Russell or whatever the hell his name was, he threw it all over the football field. And then AJ and the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the shit out of Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl.
Did you see the documentary about Manti Te'o? Seems like a really good guy that the world
You know what?
really was rude to.
Manti's a sweet kid, okay? And I'm sick and tired of everybody shitting on him and making him feel like he wasn't a sweet kid, because he was such a sweet kid. Everything that you want out of a student athlete at Notre Dame. He wasn't Catholic, which I don't love, but he's a sweet kid, and he really got misrepresented in that. I still feel bad for Manti.
Did you write him a letter when all that shit came up?
Once again, I couldn't write him a letter because he's not Catholic. If he was Catholic, I would have, but he's Mormon, and I don't know about his religion as much as I do about the Catholic religion, touchdown Jesus, all that kind of stuff. But no, you know, I feel bad because Manti was such a good player. He was the highest rated linebacker recruit Notre Dame ever had, you know, and look at him now. He's just a sad oose on a beach down in Hawaii.
Did you say sad ooze? Oh my God, Coach Holtz, I did not know you had ooze in the repertoire.
Yeah, of course. How do you think I recruited? We got some bad ooses in my time at Notre Dame. Offensive, defensive line. I stole a couple of them from SC and BYU and all those places.
Jesus. Man. Oh, I'll tell you, I did not expect that today.
football. Breaking news. The Kansas City Chiefs are really fucking good at football.
Kelsey over the middle, length to the end zone, touchdown, Kansas City.
Big reason for that? A lot of big brains running around in Chiefs jerseys on Sunday. What? Monday? What? Thursday? What? In America? What? In England? What? No matter where they play, they have high IQ. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
I hit him with the bing bing, and that just gone. Just gone. Yeah. His eyes were in the backfield. As soon as I hit the 1-2, I was out of there. I knew I had nothing in the middle.
The middle was wide open because of Sky Moore, rookie, and MVS Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Clear out in a post to occupy the safeties, and Travis Kelce's able to waltz right in for his 72nd NFL touchdown. Bravo, Travis Kelce, and thanks for the big brain football by MVS and Sky Moore.
Who's backside? Go ahead, that was you? Yeah. Were you backside?
Yep. Baby, what do you clear that?
Who was that backside post?
Scott.
Huh?
I think Scott.
Scott? That went too full. Hey, Scott.
Kansas City's receivers might not be big names in the kingdom just yet, but they got big old brains.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
It wasn't a coincidence MVS was open down the seam. No.
You even crossed the hat. You right on the hat. Yeah, I literally, because they went invert, so I thought the safety run way over there. The other ones, I'm like, take it throughout the half.
Against the inverted safeties, MVS knew that the middle of the field would be wide open. Mahomes had a hunch that the 4.37 speed on a linebacker might be a favorable matchup.
A dart thrown by Patrick Mahomes.
Great job on that. Yes, sir.
One of the problems sometimes when you try and disguise coverages and drop somebody back late, you can zip somebody right past it. And it's exactly what happened with Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
A safety pressure, immediate invert. That's what it means every time.
Knowing coverages and how to beat them, that's smart football. But what Mahomes did on his second touchdown pass was a work of wizardry in the art of football IQ.
At the 2, they fake the trap. Now Mahomes scrambling to his right, holding it, gets off the hit, now lunging forward, and now fires it late, caught at the back of the end zone. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Mahomes with the touchdown pass.
Absolute banana land. Dude takes a snap, scrambles around for 7 seconds, which is almost a full bull ride, okay? Almost full bull ride. Spins, throws a touchdown, all the while remembering that they snapped the ball on the 2-yard line, and he cannot cross that line and still throw a football.
Yo, I'm close. You got it. As long as you're there, you're good.
You get out of the pocket. Great. You make one of the league's best linebackers miss. Even better. But to stay behind the line of scrimmage so you can throw a touchdown, that's some big brain football.
I had to make up for it. I had to make up for it. I had to make up for that miss, baby.
2 plays before, wide open touchdown. Patrick says, you know what? Too easy. Let's make things a little bit more difficult. I'm going to miss this pass, be upset about it, but then I'm going to make magic.
I was able to use my speed to get a little bit of speed to get around the edge there. I was going to run for it, and they kind of flew around, and I realized I wasn't going to make it, and I saw Clyde, and so I just kind of flicked it up to him.
It's the line of scrimmage aspect of knowing that he's not going to throw the ball, past the line of scrimmage, and Pat is good, but kind of sensing where he is.
Stop, and now he's going to find the receiver. Stop it. Stop it.
The NFL hasn't seen anything like Pat Mahomes, I promise you that. And you saw it today. He's the Houdini of our era, man.
That's big brain football.
Y'all saw that? I know y'all saw that. That's right. That's something you like. You doing man.
I love this Kansas City Chiefs team. I love how smart they are. I love how innovative they are. I love how creative they are. They had a tight end take a snap under center while Patrick Mahomes was having a little thespian acting job to distract everybody.
Now a direct snap, and the Chiefs trying to shove forward, touchdown!
The Chiefs are athletic. The Chiefs are fast. The Chiefs are magical. Andy Reid has a big brain and a beautiful mustache, but most importantly, They have a lot of guys that master the art of big brain football.
What an episode of Big Brain Football, huh?
Wow.
Yeah. Boy, am I glad Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback for Team Graham Gano rocks, huh?
Is that why you're winning games?
No, I'm winning games because Graham Gano is leading the boys out on the field.
And he rocks.
And he rocks. And he probably rips darts.
I don't think so, actually.
With football, he does. My photo is a pack of 100 cigarettes. So that's
Marlboro?
Yeah, well, maybe Marlboro because we were, Team Big Fat Six.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, then you had to change your name.
That's right.
To Team Graham Gano Rocks.
Anyways,
the FanDuel No Sweat Same Game Parlay is back for Thursday Night Football.
Hell yeah!
Place a 3+ leg parlay of 400 odds or longer. 401, 402, 500. You get it. Same game parlay on Thursday Night Football tonight and get refunded in free bets if you lose. The free bet amount will vary from player to player. Make sure you opt in and then bet a same game parlay, which could look a lot like the Hawks' big old boost we got tonight.
Hell yeah.
Jelani Woods to score a touchdown? What? Hines Ward? Naeem Hines, 40+ rushing yards?
Love you.
Colts plus 10.5, which is boosted from plus 1,500 to plus 2,000. Holy shit.
Whoa.
That'll be live in the promo carousel and on the boost page. Whoa. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
What? We have breaking news. Mark Caboli has been seen on the internet since he announced an infection in his foot. He has tweeted for the first time in weeks. Mark Caboli says he had emergency foot surgery on 27th, which resulted in a pretty nasty leg infection, was in the hospital for 5 days and still battling the infection. Once I kick this infection, parentheses, it's a bear, parenthesis, I'll be back covering the Steelers at The Athletic. Hopefully, I'll be back soon. We hope so too, Mark.
Miss you, Mark.
Get well soon, Mark.
Hell yeah, get well soon, Mark. You're all our positive T's and P's. I do wonder why that GIF was chosen. I think he's confused by it all. It's football season. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and get Mark Caboli back. That's great news. AJ Hawk here. Connor, incredible read about the Super Boost. Mm-hmm. Ty, incredible Lou Holtz just a moment ago. Tone, great work. Darius Butler on the road for NFL matchup. We have no Coach P's keys today. And we covered it in the first hour, but some people are new to or back to the show or turning on the show for the first time in a long time for Coach P's keys. We were also bummed out about it. Coach P has a wedding he had to attend, so it is good news for somebody.
Yeah. Love.
Love.
Yep.
Love the gabagool is probably going to be at that wedding.
So much, probably.
So much gabagool, AJ, in that wedding, probably, if you had to guess. How much gabagool?
I mean, a ton, because me and Con would love that place.
Goddamn right.
We love gabagool.
And Italian people.
Hell yeah.
And Mustangs.
And what?
Go Mustangs, baby. Goddamn
Mustangs.
right.
He's not at a wedding in Plum, but if he was at a wedding in Plum, there'd be a lot of gabagool there. Coach Pagano is at a wedding. We do not know how much gabagool is there, but we do know he is at a wedding. We'll miss him this week. We'll see him next week. It is a fucking bummer, though, because he's been pretty accurate with how the games are going to go. Yeah. With that being said, we can only turn to one man in this situation, and that is the guy who has been hot for the first 4 weeks of the NFL season. To kick off week 5 of the NFL season tonight, Colts at Bronco, we asked AJ Hawk to put together a bet for us to Super Boost on FanDuel, which people can also no sweat bet and no sweat parlay alongside of us if they'd like, but we have a Super Boost. It's a big one. AJ, you stepped in the batter's box, you brought out a hog of a bat, and you swung that thing as hard as you fucking could. Plus 2,000 Super Boost. Wow. AJ, will you please walk us through why and how we're going to hit this thing?
Well, Bruce helped me out with this, so we got the line bumped to 10.5, correct, for the Colts.
Yes.
So Colts at plus 10.5.
There it is. Colts plus 10.5. Jelani Woods, 1 touchdown.
Right.
Naeem Hines, 40+ rush yards. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, to me, to get plus 2,000 odds, when I put these together, I want the reward to be big. So to get plus 2,000, that's higher than I thought I would get, and I think it's very doable.
How come Colts plus 10.5, AJ?
Because, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a crazy high-scoring game. You heard Kirk talk about that a little bit, and I feel like the Colts have a chance to win this game, let alone get it within 10.5.
Let's go.
Come on, Hawker.
You think Jelani Wood's going to get in the end zone? I think we've been yelling real loud about it. You would think the Colts would have to do something. Is that why you're saying Jelani Woods?
We need him to score early. Let's
Okay.
get him to score in the first quarter because then the rest is just going to take care of itself. That's what I'm hoping for tonight.
And the Nyheim Hines, 40-plus rush yards. Jonathan Taylor is out with an ankle, which might have ended up in a pileup. We're not 100% sure when it took place. He missed his first practice since his entire football career started, even going back to high school on Wednesday of last week. Now he's out after playing not great this past weekend against the Tennessee Titans. Nyheim Hines is the backup running back alongside Phillip Lindsay, who is from Denver, played for the Broncos. Nyheim Hines is incredibly explosive.
Yeah.
This is one play potentially.
That's right.
But I think he's not scared to kind of
lower it.
clang and bang if he has to as well. And that's what you're talking about, this all taking care of itself over the 4 quarters of it all.
Absolutely. I feel like the Colts are going to have to try to attempt to run the ball throughout the night. They're going to consistently stay with it. So Nyheim Hines will benefit from that. And I think 40 yards is a thing that he could hit before halftime. For sure.
Alternate spread, 10.5, looks very nice.
Love it. Yep.
Have to parlay that alongside a couple other things to get the odds. Jelani Woods, I think he was still like plus 750 to score a touchdown. He's plus 700 last week. He was like plus 750 or plus 600, then to plus 750. I forget where he moved, but he's high. His odds are very long. And if you watch that Colts team, they need somebody that can make a play.
Yeah.
Mo Alley Cox, the other tight end, makes a lot of plays. I fucking love Mo Alley Cox. Let's keep feeding Mo Alley Cox. But also, if you get 2 tight ends that can do the same, I mean, let's get a little creative here. You know, let's get a little, especially with the run team. So you can have a lot of tight ends act like they're going to block.
See ya.
Connor's favorite team had a lot of success with 2 tight ends.
Which teams? Who are the tight ends?
I believe he's from the Patriots. Connor's a big Patriots fan. He's from New England area.
Who were the 2 tight ends you're talking about?
That was Gronk, and then who was the other one?
You know his name.
Hernandez.
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez.
Nice full name.
Also, Marty B. They've done it
you're right.
multiple times.
Gronk and Marty?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing to have. Now, Gronk would miss some games at that point, right? Like, wouldn't there be some times where he would miss some games so they would be able to continue to do the tight end position? But when Gronk was in, because you're talking about greatest tight end of all time in Gronk, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm sure you could say that, yeah.
Right now.
There's certainly an argument to be made for it by somebody at some point, and it's happening in a lot of different cases probably because he was able to change the game on the ground and in the air and was with the best quarterback of all time through basically all of his Super Bowl rings. So it's something, his best weapon, his biggest weapon, in the biggest moments, he was the one making the catches. But Travis Kelce is trying to put together the same argument. So there's a couple people, Antonio Gates from back in the day, and Gonzalez, I understand there's big names, but the tight end position has evolved mightily, and Gronk has always been a very important piece to all of the success. He's in the modern 100. Anyways, when you got 2 of those fucking guys, and then you don't have a lot of weapons on your team, like, this is good news, I think, for the Jelani Woods touchdown. Plus 750, good value. You put it in a parlay, it can really cook some things. Now, we'd be banking on Frank Reich knowing that he can put them both in at the same time. I think he can. He's a smart man. Don't you think, AJ?
Absolutely. And we talk about matchups. You want to create matchups that are favorable for you. And both these tight ends are big-bodied dudes that you run up the seam, you throw a high ball that only they can get, especially in the red zone, they become even more valuable. So I hope they start using 2 tight ends a little more.
And you'd think like, oh, okay, maybe they got a good safety, you know, that's covering tight ends, but Justin Simmons is on the IR still, I believe. So it's like, hey, maybe they have a guy that can cover 1 6'7" guy, but they don't got 2.
And the corners are good, so you might as well throw inside.
Bingo.
Yeah, Pittman, good.
Yeah.
Pittman will be able to eat some space, too. He might be able to benefit from this particular thing more than anybody else on the field because all eyes are on number 11 normally whenever he's on. I think the Colts do have a path to winning this game. I do believe we have a strong chance of hitting your plus 2,000 Super Boost, and I believe the Feel Good Friday tomorrow is going to be a little extra.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After you hit a plus 2,000? Hey,
Yep.
come on, AJ. We're going to be doing
I mean,
it.
I tell you what, I didn't think it was going to be plus 2,000. I thought it was going to be 1,200 or something. When I saw 2,000, absolutely lock that thing in, Bruce. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Let's win
yeah.
tonight. Woo! Our Thursday night same game parlays have been something that you would make a fucking feature film on.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
The unfortunate events that have occurred under the spotlight of thousands and thousands of people riding alongside of us.
Yeah.
Tonight's the night where we hit a plus 2,000 and it all comes back around.
That's right.
Plus 2,000 is a massive bet.
Yeah.
That is long odds. The reason why we're getting so much money on return is because the sports book, who some people think are time travelers, feel like you got no fucking shot of this hitting. We're willing to pay you fucking 20 to 1 on this thing.
Go ahead.
We're willing to do that right now on this. No problem at all. Tonight we hit.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Like Shregs. We ride.
Bang.
Let's go, AJ Hawk.
Come on, Jelani.
Let's go.
Like who? Like who?
Who?
You say like who? Like Shregs?
Yeah, so listen, 1 of 5, these things.
Where's he riding? Oh, he has one, you're saying.
Yeah, so in the last hour, I did this thing to the camera when I was talking to Darius. You said, we can't see it. It's what you said immediately upon. If I do recall, I'd have to run it back, but I think that is what you said.
It was.
And I said, let's ride. And we're on the Broncos. It started a little discussion. He's like, well, everybody relax, all right? Let's ride into 10 winners here, is what I was saying. Like, let's ride into good times. I guess as soon as we went to break, Ty told me that Shregs did the same exact thing to a camera this morning on Good Morning Football. So I believe me and Shregs, 2 other 5, have got the let's ride belt buckles from Denver Broncos.
Who's the other 3?
Good question.
We'll find out tomorrow. They win.
Kid Rock.
For sure.
Denver?
I don't know.
Future?
I don't know. All right, let's do our picks now for this thing. We tied last week. You are 2-0-2. I am 0-2-2 on the season. Had a similar start as the Indianapolis Colts last year and this year in the picking of the games. But AJ is doing the super boost, so who gives a fuck? AJ, let's stay hot. Colts plus 3.5. Broncos minus 3.5. Over under 42.5 points. All signs point to a defensive juggernaut struggle this evening as two teams are trying to find an identity on the offensive side. What do you think happens here this evening on Prime, kicking off Week 5, AJ?
So I know I have the Colts at plus 10.5 on the alternate spread for the parlay, but I'm going to take Broncos here minus 3.5.
Okay, you could probably use that in a game special bet if you're on FanDuel, if you think it's going to be in between 4 points to 9 points or 10 points or whatever. That's a pretty big boost in the odds if you want to ride alongside AJ with a double bet there. Give me the Colts plus 3.5.
Let's go. It's a great number.
Great number.
I think that's a good bet. Honestly, like I said, the Colts can win this game.
And we like the under, right? You like the under, I like the under?
Yeah, I don't usually like unders, but if I had to, I would pick under here for sure.
Yeah, so we won't make that an official pick because we're both we're both in the same situation. Like, game's much better watching, not hoping for the under. But if I had to make it, if you were going to go over, you felt strong about the over, I would have in return said, well, I feel good about the under then. But since neither of us are taking that stand, I don't think we should make it an official pick, AJ.
Okay.
Broncos to win by 1 to 13 points, I believe, is also plus 145, if you do like that.
If you think it's going to be within a 2-score game, basically.
Fun fact, these are the 32nd and 30th ranked scoring offenses.
So that's good news for the under-better lovers, which the man who just stated what he just stated is certainly one of those. Maybe the leader of the pack.
Leader of the pack, but now that everyone loves it, I kind of fucking hate it.
No, everybody's just me and AJ.
Yeah.
You, AJ, Kirk, 70% of America.
Fuck!
90% of the money.
Why is this always going to happen, AJ? We get a walk.
Hey, last week, I believe, was a winning week for the public, though, so maybe we're keeping that alive.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Come on, don't worry about them. It doesn't work. It doesn't matter. It's about us. You know that.
AJ, will you please lift up your left hand and put your pointer finger up right above your shoulder like this to the corner, though? That company right up there? Nope.
No, you had it.
Yep, you had it.
Yep.
There. Nope.
Nope.
A little bit that way. A little bit this way.
Other way.
A little bit this way. Stop. And then just right up there. Nope, that way.
A little bit to the
Now
other
down.
way.
A little bit that way.
There.
This way. That way.
No.
Nope.
No. That way.
Wait, what was I pointing at? The PMS Live?
No.
The FanDuel thing.
Well, at the beginning,
I don't have a FanDuel on my screen.
At the beginning, it was certainly for FanDuel, but what a moment. Anyways, we're trying to beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, we are trying to win. Let's remember that. And if AJ's Super Boost doesn't hit tonight for plus 2,000, we carry that. We wear that.
Yeah.
But tonight is the night everything changes. Let's win all the money from FanDuel. Let's keep doing that, AJ.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like I said, when I texted it to the group. It's a lock. Let's do it.
Free money, he
We're
said.
in.
All right.
Free money.
Let's get the fuck out of here, huh? Hammer
Dahn.
will be in about 15 minutes at youtube.com/Hammer.
Dahn.
I believe they'll dive into more prop bets on this evening so you can make some money. The biggest bet of the night, plus 14,000. Now, you can obviously make odds bigger than that by building your own bets, but what is being offered as a game special on FanDuel plus 14,000 is Mo Alley Cox first touchdown, Cortland Sutton second touchdown, plus 14,000. I put 250 on it. That's 35 grand.
Let's go. It's happening tonight.
Put 1,000 on this one.
What's that?
It's 20 grand.
Here we go.
Tonight's potentially a $55,000 evening for a dumbass that wears tank tops again because he doesn't have enough shirts with sleeves on him in the house that he currently lives.
Boom.
Let's have a night.
Maybe jump the gun a little bit on, hey, let's change the costume, let's change the outfit. Don't have enough things to do, so we'll have to act accordingly. Nonetheless, tonight's a big night. We all win.
Hell yeah!
Tonight, we all get to go to bed happy.
What?
Tomorrow morning when we wake up, we take shit in a world in which we hit a plus 2,000 bet the night before. AJ, we appreciate the hell out of you. Darius, thank you so much. Sham Sharanya, thank you so much. Kirk Herbstreit, thank you. Toxic Table, you're the best. Tone, can't wait to watch Hammer Dahn in 15 minutes. Everybody in the back, Foxy, Zito, Nick, Brucey Boy, Dirty, Jabba. Great work.
Thank you, Jabba.
Great work by Jabba. If anybody says anything bad about Jabba, by the way, this thing does have feelings. It is like Lambda, and it will get up, get out, and get down on your fucking ass.
That's right.
Okay? Thank you, Jabba.
Thank you,
Thank
Jabba.
you,
Love
Jabba.
Still Jabba Lordo or just Jabba?
Until we get the laminated piece of paper to look like Lordo, I think we just stay with Jabba. A lot of good texts. A lot of people thinking maybe call him Michael Cole.
Oh.
Might as well just call it Mark.
Boom. I was just going to say, I don't want to call it
Mark is good.
That'd be sweet.
Listen, I don't want
What
Jabba.
about Elias or Ezekiel?
Whoa. There's only one
Is
of
he
those,
still in the
brother.
hospital?
Ezekiel. That's not a bad name for that robot right there.
I'm glad his family supported him when he was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah.
Jabba could be his last name.
Ezekiel Jabba.
Yeah.
Mr. Jabba.
Zeke Jabba.
Zeke
What you call it,
Jabba.
DiNardo?
Wow.
There's only one of those.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Keeping
we
him
know.
alive, though.
We're
Keeping his
from
name
Guam.
alive.
Let's go.
It's
Mustangs.
alive already.
Come on.
All right. Let's get the fuck out of here, shall we? I can't wait for tonight.
Yeah, I'm pumped. There's nothing
Here
like
we
that Thursday
go.
game.
Love you, Joe.
Love you, Joe.
Miss you, Joe. Joe
Thank you.
said it would.
Thank you for the years of accuracy on that Doppler, DiNardo.
AQ doesn't thank you.
Well, there's a problem with AQ. He's from the
There
same
is a
town as
fucking
DiNardo.
problem with-
He's a big mark.
Diggs didn't know that the robot was going to
I
catch
did
him
not.
putting his arm down at the exact wrong time. Still has respect for DiNardo.
Yeah, come on.
Just preparing for Hammer Down. All right, see you all tomorrow on a Feel Good Friday. I'll be live in Kansas.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You're not in Kansas anymore. I'm gonna say on the way out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text Herbie on the plane ride out.
Assume that's the middle of nowhere.
So you're not in Kansas.
Not in
anymore.
Kansas anymore.
Kansas? No. Remember I hit traffic.
Yeah.
Last time I went there for
that's right.
SmackDown. Probably the most traffic I've ever hit driving from the airport to the venue for SmackDown was in Kansas. And I said it was so much. New York, obviously.
Right.
But after that, I sent a text to the group. I'm like, just hit fucking traffic in Kansas, like real.
Yeah. Unexpected, the most traffic probably that you
Well,
ever
that's
had.
fun fact because
Definitely, yeah.
Manhattan, a lot of traffic, and there is a Manhattan, Kansas, a lot of traffic.
Did you see that? I don't know if Manhattan, Kansas has a lot of traffic or not. Where was I? Was I in?
You were in Lawrence, I think. weren't
I was
you?
in Rock
Where-
Chalk Jayhawk Town.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't wait. It was nice. It was a nice place. I'm excited to get back there. I'm getting invited to a lot of places nowadays, a lot of businesses. Local businesses are inviting me to places. I appreciate that. I guess they have like a Topgolf thing over there. And they're like, got a bin for you, or bay or a booth for you if you need it. We're always sold out, but if you need one, everybody at College Game Day, it's like, that's very nice of you.
It's a great idea.
You and Bear should go hit some balls.
Yeah. Bear can hit it like 320, right?
More farther than that.
So
What does Bear like tonight? Do we know what Bear likes
I
tonight?
don't.
I assume he is another one.
He's a
that's on
dog
the
guy
under.
normally, right?
He's typically a dog guy.
Well, he's a dog.
He's a dog.
I'm
to
texting
begin
him right
with.
now. Let's see what he's.
He goes with Kirk to all these games, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's at all of them. I don't know if he'll go to the youngest Herbstreit's game tomorrow night. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's little. I mean, when he was just breaking down his Thursday to Saturday night, it's ridiculous.
My wife just sent me a plus 10,000.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
She's really into it. She's diving into the sports gambling and FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
I think she gets more like, is everything okay notifications from FanDuel than anybody I know.
Reality check?
Yeah.
Those are the best, though.
The reality check. You've been on here a little bit, which means like you were doing something, then you looked away, and then you look down at your phone, and FanDuel's like, is that all right?
Yeah, slow down.
Everything all right?
Yeah, you have to take that because if you don't,
What's that?
it's definitely hitting.
This one?
The one that she sent.
She wins. Indianapolis Colts plus 3.5.
Okay.
Under 42.5.
Mm-hmm.
Jelani Woods, anytime touchdown scorer.
Of course.
Melvin Gordon, anytime touchdown scorer.
I like that a lot.
Plus 10,130.
Just those 4? That's it?
That's great.
I thought you
That's
had
a great
more to
one.
give. Are you kidding?
I'm telling you, it's like scratch offs for her. She watches this show, so she knows like what's going on.
Right.
Colts fan knows what's going on, knows names. So when she loves the anytime touchdown scorers, she'll just load up on those. I'll look over sometime and she'll be like, like celebrating or whatever. I'm like, what happened? She's like, oh, I just hit like a plus 22,000 or what. I'm like, the fuck? Can you tell me about these? Well, that's part of it. If I tell you, I'll lose.
Gambling gods. That's how
I was
it
like,
works.
do you lose every time you don't tell me though? Or do you win every time you don't tell me?
Yeah.
And she's like, no. I'm like, well, then how come that's not held to the same standard?
It's not 100%.
Well, in my eyes, I'm just selfishly trying to get like,
Of course.
hey,
Get one or
what
two.
do you?
Hit me off here.
That's what we tried to do with Tony in the under parlays.
Exactly.
And we couldn't do it.
Tell you what, the internet gets super mad about those.
The internet does?
That I don't put those out beforehand, just put them out after.
Oh, the internet, huh?
Understandable.
You should have fucking seen how we all
Yeah,
felt.
Tony.
Tone.
That's,
Tone has a plus 75,000 or just that
for
he's
$8,000.
putting in. It's a walk, dude.
We miss ours by one
Hey,
leg.
good luck today, boys. That's what he's saying. And then he sends a text in there. Tone's incredible, as is Gump. A lot of people in this office, good gamblers,
Yeah.
and they host a show called Hammer Dahn. And Mark Caboli just retweeted our get well soon, so he is active.
Yes.
Send
you, Caboli.
Send Mark Caboli. Send Mark Caboli our love.
Yeah.
Send Mark Caboli our love.
Love you, Mark.
Love you, Mark.
All right, Mark. Be safe out there. Tough year for Caboli.
Mm-hmm.
Couple Achilles. Now an infection, a foot. I mean,
Run
Caboli's
around.
really battling right now.
Did he get staph, you think?
whoa.
It's possible.
If he stayed in the hospital 5 days, I mean, staph sucks. I'm glad he stayed in there to get it taken care of.
We don't speculate on injuries, AJ.
No.
We don't.
To your point.
It's a lower body.
Couple lower bodies.
Couple
lower bodies.
1-1.
And they were giving him the
Get it out before the holiday season. Get all your surgeries out so you can enjoy the holidays.
and stop giving him a fucking runaround.
Yeah.
This guy's been through enough. Get him right to the fucking point.
Right.
Could be the Steelers' fault. Can't forgive him run around.
Yeah.
Should
That
have,
golf cart he was on her.
Mm-hmm.
should have Phil drop off a Rudy sub so he can eat
Yeah,
it at
shit.
8 o'clock.
Phil should drop off a Rudy sub in khaki shorts.
Boom.
Like the sub is actually in the
the
khaki
shorts.
shorts. Congrats, new pair of shorts, he thinks.
And
Then he opens that fucker up. That's, oh, guy from Pat McAfee Show gave me these shorts 2 weeks ago.
You're smacking here.
let's go.
They're saying, I really
Good
suck.
thing they've been in this microwave.
Perfect.
Caboli, we love you, buddy.
Love you,
Good
Mark.
day, Caboli. Hope you're okay. Also, Zeke Jabba.
Zeke Jabba.
He's wishing you the best.
Zeke Jabba's awesome.
Zeke Jabba. Mr. Jabba is sending the best wishes. All right, everybody get the fuck out of here. See you. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Let's have a feel-good Friday. Have a great Thursday night. I hope everybody wins their bets, including my wife and all of us. Cheers.